And welcome back on this glorious day in Gainesville. The Florida Gators hosting the Florida Atlantic University Owls. And there is a familiar face in football circles in the Sunshine State. Howard Schnellenberger, who got this program up on its feet. 7th year of existence for FAU football. Their 3rd year of Division I competition. And there's Urban Meyer trying to get his team fired up for the start of this football game. And that might be the greatest danger net for Florida to have a tendency to let down in this game.
And that's exactly what I was just getting ready to say, David, is, it's so important that they come out with the same intensity the way they did against South Carolina early in the ball game and take it to FAU right away.
Because you know that the Owls are going to be ready to play in this one. And here's an outstanding kick return by Gilvori Edgecombe, bringing it across the 30 to the 32-yard line for FAU. 31-yard return for the junior from Miami. Let's get an update from Steve Babick.
Well, for the 2nd game in a row, no Percy Harvin. Before the South Carolina game, it was diagnosed that Percy Harvin had sinus problems. But as the week went along, they realized it was something else. He worked out that weekend, and then also it was migraine problems that occurred. So Percy Harvin out. He's at the game. They'll wait and see next week if he can go against Florida State.
Well, the Gators hopefully can get the job done today. As on the first down play, Willie Rose is the ball carrier and fights his way forward to the 34-yard line. Stacked up by linebacker A.J. Jones. Rose, a hard-running sophomore from Lutz out of Gaither High School. Starting lineup brought to you by Checkers, official burger of the Florida Gators. Here are the Owls. And the tight end, Jason Harmon, is the man to keep an eye on, number 88, with 44 catches on the year. Big Nick Paris anchors the offensive line, the junior from Palm Bay. And Smith's throw is caught at the 40-yard line by Chris Bonner. And Bonner with the catch a couple of yards short of the first down. As you look at Rusty Smith, who's had an outstanding year, a redshirt sophomore out of Sandalwood High School in Jacksonville, and has completed almost 56% of his passes, over 2,000 yards. And look at that touchdown to interception ratio, outstanding, 20-7.
Extremely efficient, and this is a big 3rd down conversion. 39% of the times they're able to convert.
Fake the handoff, a short toss, and the pass is caught, and FAU will have the first down. They love to throw the ball to their fullback, Willie Rose. That's his 27th catch of the year. Now let's check the Florida defense. There's the front four. Cunningham and Harvey have been great. Mike Pouncey, boy, what an addition on the defensive line to really move some people around up there the last couple of weeks since moving over from offense. Brandon Spikes, the leading tackler, with 101 on the season. And Major Wright, back after the hand injury, really back at near 100% for the first time in several weeks at the free safety position.
Yeah, he's still wearing that club on his hands, though. And got some padding.
Yeah,
Joe Hayden on the coverage that time there. And, Joe Hayden, when you talk about a freshman that has played exceptionally well, as we look at our keys to the game, for FAU, they want to throw the football. This is a defense that's giving up almost 250 yards a game against the pass. Defensively, they want to stop the run. Force UF to throw the football. Florida's been gashing teams running the football. And then offensively, they just want to stay away from the turnover. Don't do anything to help this team out. They're plus 16 in the turnover ratio. And then they want to get pressure on the quarterback and try and come up with some sacks, get some turnovers.
Keys to the game brought to you by Chevrolet. Visit Chevy.com and find out why Chevy Silverado is the 2007 Motor Trend Truck of the Year. Gators stuff the run on 2nd down. It's 3rd down, and a hurry-up offense for the Owls. Offense coordinator Gary Nord has them lined up. It's 3rd and 9. Smith hit as he throws, and the pass is incomplete. Good coverage by Hayden, the aforementioned freshman cornerback out of Maryland. A terrific freshman year for Hayden.
Well, we get good pressure coming from the backside by Derek Harvey, but then Joe Hayden, for the 2nd time in this drive, runs the route for the receiver. He's in better shape to catch the football as they try and get the ball to Chris Bonner. Both times, Joe Hayden makes the play.
Mickey Grudy is the freshman back to punt the ball for FAU. And the Gators have Jared Faison back to return the punt. So no Brandon James on the opening punt. It's a short kick. And there is a flag on the play. That's only a 19-yard punt by the freshman. And the officials will talk it over. It's going to go against the Gators, an offsides penalty. And after a 19-yard punt, you would assume that FAU would like to take another crack at this one.
And you know, Florida comes where they
offsides, defense, 5-yard penalty, repeat fourth down.
Lack of concentration here, isn't it, Nat?
Yeah, lack of concentration, but so far that's what I've seen this entire drive. You know, you get a big return on the kickoff, and then you got the missed tackles on defense, and then all of a sudden you have another special team blunder where you get a penalty that takes away an opportunity to get good field position. Now you give FAU a chance to kick it again.
Yeah.
And don't be surprised with all this jumping around if FAU don't fake it and go for it.
Well, they're sitting at the Florida 46. Faison is back to return the punt. They will kick it away. This is not Brandon James, who's one of the more explosive punt returners in college football. So we'll have to get Steve Babick on that as far as Faison returning the punt instead of James. The Gators will have it at the 14-yard line when we come back.
Not successful their first offensive possession. Welcome back. Steve Babick here on the sideline for Sun Sports coverage. The Florida Gators, you've heard David still talk about it. Jared Faison back to return punt. Brandon James, it looks like, is not available for today's game. We'll know more in the post game. I think Coach Meyer will address that. But they'll have Faison return punts. Look for Lewis Murphy to return kicks. And I don't think that Brandon James is going to be available at all to play. He is in uniform, but the word on the sideline is that he will not play today. If we've had any more development, we'll let you know. But for today's game, no Brandon James. Let's go back upstairs.
All right, one of those situations, I guess, that Urban Meyer will address after the game.
Another key playmaker for the Gators that will not play today.
Tebow's first pass is caught by Andre Caldwell at the 31-yard line. A 16-yard connection to Caldwell, who came into the game needing only 9 receptions to pass Carlos Alvarez, #1 all-time in the Gator pass-catching career list. Tim Tebow, a Heisman Trophy frontrunner in most circles now after the injury to Dennis Dixon of Oregon on Thursday night. Tebow perhaps stepping to the forefront of the Heisman chase. What an incredible sophomore season for the freshman, a sophomore from Jacksonville. And his second pass is caught again by Bubba Caldwell. So 2 catches already for Caldwell as he inches closer to Carlos Alvarez. Here's the starting lineup brought to you by Checkers, official burger of the Florida Gators. Faison is in at that wide receiver spot, usually occupied by Percy Harvin. Offensive line pretty healthy now at this point in the season. That's a good thing. A lot of guys have been beat up and in and out of the lineup. But certainly Drew Miller has been the anchor at that center spot throughout the season. Second down play. A flag is dropped as Keyston Moore is stacked up near the line of scrimmage. Well, not much of a push that time against that FAU front 4. And a penalty flag on the play. We'll check it out. A referee today, by the way, is Mark Curls.
Second time today, David, that we've seen people on the defensive side of the ball jumping around.
Number 94, defense.
FAU is
the 5-yard penalty is also a first down.
Around and not aware that they're actually in the neutral zone. They're lining up in the neutral zone.
Howard Snellenberger directing the show on the FAU sideline. Here's the front 4. St. Clair, Jackson, Mertillus, and Council across the front 4 for the FAU Owls. The linebackers, Joseph and Sincere, outstanding players with good speed. And in the secondary, they've got a couple of outstanding players back there. Acevedo has been a terrific free safety all year long, and Tavius Polo, a player of the week nationally for his play against the University of Minnesota. On first down, Faison is the ball carrier. And he just does get back to the line of scrimmage. There's one of those linebackers I mentioned, Serge Sincere, the 5th-year senior from Belglade. A great Belglade Central High School football program, which has produced so many terrific players through the years.
Yeah, He's a good one. He's a senior that, you know, just on that particular play, he showed his speed and his tenacity as he was able to come from the backside and make that play before the play developed. It looked like there was going to be a gap, and he caught it from behind it.
2nd down and 10. Tebow's got good protection. And his pass is caught by Cornelius Ingram, who carries it out near the 50-yard line. So Ingram, who's been slowed by ankle injuries the last couple of weeks, looking good on that particular play. Almost a Gator first down.
And Tim really wants to throw this ball down the field, but they catch him in a zone coverage. Everybody's there. Nice job of coming off to his outlet receiver, Cornelius Ingram, and then Cornelius putting a move on the would-be tackler and getting upfield, getting positive yardage, leaving us a very 3rd and short for the Gators.
About a yard. Tebow, a quick toss. Caldwell's 3rd catch. He'll have the first down, trying to turn the corner, but he cannot. A good tackle by Corey Small, the cornerback over there. Came into the game with 74 tackles on the season. That's a lot of stops for a cornerback. And now Caldwell with his 3rd catch on this drive. Only 6 shy of Alvarez now.
Well, and this is featuring Andre Caldwell. You don't have Percy Harvin. Nice job catching the football, trying to help set up his block by faking inside, jumping outside, but making sure that he got the first down on 3rd and short.
Tebow completes to Riley Cooper. Cooper fights his way to the 31-yard line.
And David, when you look at this FAU football team, you see that, you know, they really don't get a lot of pressure. They don't get a lot of sacks, but they get a lot of turnovers, and it's because they play a lot of zone. They try and take away the deep ball. Everybody's sitting back, seeing the release of the football, and then reacting up to try and make the tackle.
Howard Schnellenberger's team is 5-4 coming into the game, and they're still in the hunt for the Sun Belt Conference Championship. Tebow over the middle. He's got a receiver. It's Caldwell. And Andre Caldwell inside the 10 at the 9-yard line. He is just having a fabulous start to this game in a day that could be a record-setting day for Caldwell. Looks like it's going to be.
And David, somebody didn't read the press release that Andre Caldwell needs 9 catches to become the all-time Gator receiving top receiver in history, and already he's caught 4 balls dragging across the field, and he's coming wide open versus them having somebody very close to him. And that's what happens when you play that zone defense. It creates holes that your receiver can sit down and catch the football.
Keyston Moore running up the middle to the 5. He battles his way in for the touchdown. 9 yards by Keyston Moore, and the Gators make it look very easy on their first offensive possession. 85 yards on the drive, and Moore carries it in for the final 9.
And it's good to see Keyston Moore running tough and running hard inside the tackles, David. You know, he's a guy that had some problems putting the ball on the ground, but they give it to him today, and he reward him with a 9-yard touchdown.
Broke a couple of tackles along the way, and Joey Ehas adds the extra point. So Florida's defense shuts down the Owls after FAU picks up 1 first down, and then the Gators march 85 yards to get on the scoreboard first in Gainesville.
Nestled in the heart of Florida, there's a place unique in all the world where majestic oaks sway and stage shows swing, where it's as much about the wildlife as it is about the nightlife. A place where families gather to watch alligators while fans unite to root for Florida Gators. Gainesville, Alachua County, where nature and culture meet. Visit our website today and start planning your vacation in Gainesville, Alachua County, where nature and culture meet.
These people's lives were ruled by debilitating pain. Then they discovered the Laser Spine Institute, and their suffering stopped. What they went through before, during, and after this minimally invasive surgery was documented. These stories are amazing and inspiring. You can see them at laserspineinstitute.com. If you are suffering from back or neck pain, you can get your life back with Laser Spine Institute. Call 1-800-226-6184 today.
You may be the first to get one, but you're certainly not going to be the last. The Toyota Tundra, engineered with an imposing 381 horsepower V8 engine. We didn't redesign the Toyota Tundra, we redesigned the truck. Toyota Tundra, moving trucks forward.
Florida Gators extremely impressive in their opening drive. Tim Tebow is 6 for 6 throwing the ball. Keyston Moore carries the final 9. And Florida leads it 7-0 against the Owls from Boca Raton, Florida. There you see the numbers on the drive, and Florida just dominating on that particular possession. Gators young and old celebrating an impressive touchdown march.
David, let's talk about how nice a job that offensive line did. Tim Tebow was clean the entire series going down the field, that entire drive, and then good blocking up the middle by Tart, Miller, and Pouncey to get more into the end zone. So, just a nice job starting the ball game by the offensive line of first pass protecting, keeping Tim Tebow clean, and then creating space for the running backs to run with the football.
The Haas kicking off. Edgecombe will field it at the 4. Justin Williams flying down the left side of the field. Came in there and made the stop at about the 15-yard line. Only an 11-yard return. Much better coverage by Florida on that kick. Williams, the flyer, coming up that left side of the field.
And the beauty of that particular play was everybody stayed in their lanes. They stayed at home. They didn't over pursue. So therefore, there was nowhere for the runner to go with the football.
So here comes the sophomore from Jacksonville, Rusty Smith. They had a monster game against Minnesota out of the Big Ten earlier in the year, completing 27 passes for a school record 463 yards. He's got a great arm, but he kind of throws that one up for grabs under pressure, and the pass is incomplete. And a pass intended for Cortez Gent.
A little different this time. You get Major Wright, the free safety, out there covering the starting receiver, Cortez Gent, and does a nice job. Actually pushes him out of bounds. And, anytime you see that official throw that hat, that means, hey, he's out of bounds. He can't come back in and catch. He can't catch the football. Cannot be the first guy.
Major Wright, just a major talent as a freshman. Really going to be a great safety in the SEC. Here's a positive play for the Owls. A first down picked up by Charles Pierre. About a 15-yard carry out to around the 30-yard line by Pierre, who is a junior from Orlando out of Lake Highland Prep. 119 yards this year.
That time they caught the linebacker standing flat-footed, and Pierre is able to bounce it outside. He comes into the ball game averaging 4.6 yards a carry and got 6 touchdowns to his credit. So, he has some ability. He's had a couple of 100-yard games this year.
Well, he rushed for 756 yards last year as a sophomore. Smith rolling right. They love to get him out of the pocket, roll him out to his right. He's a very strong thrower, rolling in that direction, and the pass is caught by Gent, young man who's from Chiefland High School, just a few miles from the University of Florida campus here in North Central Florida.
And when you think of Rusty Smith at 6'5", and then moving the pocket with the big fellow, normally a guy 6'5", he can see over that line of scrimmage. You don't move him as much, but the thing that it does, David, it buys the receivers additional time to try and work to get open.
And their offensive line is going to be challenged to keep those ends from crashing in if he just stands back there in the pocket. The handoff to Edgecombe. And Edgecombe gets 1 yard out to the 43-yard line. So I think you're going to see a lot of Smith on that rollout to his right today for the FAU Owls. I mentioned he's a big, strong kid, 6'5" and 220. And has thrown for 20 touchdown passes this year. FAU with that win against Minnesota out of the Big Ten. Won a thriller last week against Arkansas State in the Sun Belt. Hayden on a blitz coming right at the quarterback. Bats the ball away, incomplete.
And once again, you see the smartness of Joe Hayden. He realizes, David, he's not going to get there. Smith's ready to throw the football. What does he do? He get in the throwing lane. He gets his hands up, knocks the ball down. You know, just another heady play by Joe Hayden as he comes on the corner blitz to make a play.
Now it's third down for the Owls. And Smith sets up the screen, but it's blown up. Terrific job by Ryan Stamper to just destroy that potential screen play.
Well, that was his man, David. The Gators were in a man coverage that particular play, and as FAU tried to set up this screen pass, they allowed the blitz to come, and nice job by Stamper of just getting there before the blockers and making the tackle.
Faison back to return the second punt. And the freshman Grudy has it blocked. It's picked up. Marcus Manson carries it in for the touchdown. And the celebration is on in the end zone.
And David, this is a team that has allowed some blocks. They've given up 2 blocked field goals in the last 3 ball games. So obviously the Gator coaching staff saw something in the film that made them feel that they can go after, because this is the second time he's went back to punt where they've went after him.
Well, you feel good for Marcus Manson. Here's a guy that was a running back and really a primary guy in the offense a year ago. 2 years ago as well. The kick by Ehas is good. And so Manson scores a touchdown in special team play as the Gators block it. Gobbled up by Joey Sorrentino, and then Manson picks it up and carries it in for the touchdown. We're back in Gainesville. The Gators have just taken a 14-0 lead, blocking a punt. Let's take a look, Nat.
And this is right in here. You'll see the guard will kick out, and Joey Sorrentino comes in, blocks it, and then Marcus Manson comes in. Sorrentino tries to pick it up, not able to pick it up, but then Manson comes back, picks it up, and runs it in. But David, the reason I wanted to come back to this play, not to show the touchdown, but to show you what happens if guys are not frustrated because they're not playing. Manson is a tailback that came here, that very heralded guy that, you know what, he went to defense, he's still not a starter. Then you look at Joey Sorrentino, he's a wide receiver. You know what, there's plenty of ways to help your football team win, and those two guys just showed you how to do it.
Oh, you got to like it for Marcus Manson out of Tuscaloosa, Alabama. So the Gators blocking a kick here against FAU in the first period to take a 14-0 advantage against the Owls. Edgecombe this time from the 7-yard line. He had a 31-yard return and a much shorter return last time, and now he brings it out to the 25. Last week the Gators special teams came up big again against South Carolina. And a rolling punt. Brian Suckup rolling right into the Florida defense. John Curtis with the block, and that was a big play in that game. It's really a momentum changer when you can do things like that on special teams, Nat.
And that was strictly just extra effort on John Curtis's part, because they weren't going for the block. He saw something, saw a chance to make a play, and he went out and did it.
Urban Meyer, known for great special teams play as a head coach at Bowling Green and at Utah, now for the Florida Gators. That's a 2-yard gain for B.J. Manley. So FAU came in here with upset on their mind. A lot of kids from the Sunshine State, and many of whom would have liked to have played in the Southeastern Conference, no doubt. But they're in a developing program situation at FAU. Program only in its 3rd year of Division I competition. They were 5-7 a year ago. Still in the Sun Belt Conference hunt with Troy, a team Florida played earlier this year. That pass is batted away.
Big McMillan. McMillan got his hands up and knocked the ball down.
But the Gators had some problems with Troy. You remember back early in the season, Florida able to outscore the Trojans 59-33.
But early in the season, David, if you reflect back, the Gators were playing a lot of soft zone, trying to get these young guys acclimated and ready to play. And now you're seeing these young guys up in the face of these receivers and challenging them each and every play.
Well, a little different attitude out there on the defensive side of the ball. Smith throws it a little bit high, intended for the tight end Harmon. And Troy University sitting atop the Sun Belt standings, and FAU hot on their heels. That win last week for the Owls was very big against Arkansas State, pulling it out. They scored 2 late game scores to escape defeat last week against Arkansas State and stay in the hunt. And the Owls are trying to punt the ball away once again. It's a good kick, and Faison retreating to the 21-yard line. Sophomore from Tampa brings it out to the 27, and that's where Florida will take over. So the Gator offense on the field for the second time. They marched 85 yards on their first possession, scored on a 9-yard run by Keyston Moore, and a blocked punt resulting in the other touchdown. 5:05 left in the first quarter. Florida ranked number 12 in the latest BCS rankings with a 7-3 record, and still has hopes of playing in Atlanta in the SEC championship game. They need help from Kentucky today. The Wildcats playing the Georgia Bulldogs in Athens. On the option, Tebow tosses it inside to tight end Aaron Hernandez, and the big freshman out of Bristol, Connecticut, running over Owl defenders across midfield to the 41-yard line of FAU. There's a flag on the play.
Wow. It's amazing with this coaching staff, David. Last week, Big Hernandez caught a little short pass, and they showed him what he could do when he got the ball in his hands, and all of a sudden you're running the shovel pass to the tight end.
Wow. That's one we haven't seen. That's something for Bobby Bowden and company
Illegal block in the back.
to take a look at
86,
on film.
Offense.
However, the flag is against the Gators. It was a downfield holding call against Florida, apparently. So this one is going to come back from the spot of the infraction, mark it back at the 45-yard line. It will be 1st and 10. Well, Hernandez is a good-looking young player, isn't he?
Yes, he is. Big, strong tight end that runs well with the football. And I think the Gators actually got called for a block in the back downfield. So.
Okay. First down, Tebow under pressure. Fires, caught. Ingram. He breaks a tackle. 35-yard line of the Owls. Cornelius Ingram with his second reception of the game. What's good to see Ingram back apparently near or at 100% physically, because he is a significant weapon.
Well, when you play the soft zone the way FAU is playing, you're going to have some holes in the middle of the field, especially if the linebackers don't get great drops. So this could be a big ball game for the tight ends for the Gators.
Cameron Newton is now the cornerback for the Gators, getting some snaps in the first quarter. Newton will keep, and FAU appeared to be ready for Newton to carry the football. He was hit right in the hole for no gain. Good job by Jermaine Council, number 94. Number 9 Gator volleyball hosting Mississippi State on Sunday, November the 18th at 1:30 p.m. It's Senior Day, so help say thanks to all the seniors at a post-match ceremony. Call 800-34-GATOR and get more information. Tebow back at quarterback on 2nd down and 11. Faison open at the 30. He has terrific speed, maneuverability, and is chased out of bounds at the 17-yard line.
Very elusive after the catch is Jared Faison, another ex-quarterback that's starting to come into his own in this offense. Little drag route across, ball slightly behind him, makes the catch, little stutter move, and then basically just shows his ability in the open field, David. Nothing fancy, just a little move here, a little head and fake there, and he splits the defense.
Getting a chance to play with the Percy Harvin situation, those migraine headaches continuing to plague Harvin this week. Another pass complete to Andre Caldwell. Look at him, high step over the defender and then go down hard at the 13. A flag came in late. Caldwell with his 5th reception of this first quarter. But there is a penalty flag on the play.
Yeah, that's a dangerous move that time by Andre Caldwell. As you know, he starts upfield, he gets the block coming out, and then a little face mask, I think, is what's going to be the call, as you see there, and then he just goes up and over everybody, and Davius Polo comes up, makes the play, knocks him down.
Yeah, you're right, Nan. I think it is going to go against the Owls. Spot the ball inside the 10 at about the 7. Tim Tebow is 9 for 9 for 141 yards. And the Gators look for their 3rd touchdown of the quarter. They're leading 14-0. Tebow keeping. And he's hit at the 6. Dropped at about the 5-yard line by Chris Bartels, number 27, the strong safety.
Chris Bartel was able to figure things out with all that misdirection and everybody going in opposite directions. He was able to figure out who had the football, but I guess down there 9 out of 10 times if you guess Tebow, you could be half right.
Well, the Owls looking to really shut down, not only shut down Tim Tebow, but Tahim Acevedo says we'd like to get him out of the game.
Yeah, well, you know, I don't think he meant any harm in saying that, but you know, they would like to be able to say they were able to stop this potent offense of the Gators.
Yeah, there's a good hit on Keyston Moore. Moore, who scored that 9-yard touchdown earlier in the quarter, shut down this time. Linebacker Franz Joseph, the junior from Fort Lauderdale.
This has been a pretty good football team down inside the red zone. Of 39 opportunities, they've only allowed 20 touchdowns. So, you know, a little over 50%, 51% of the time, teams are able to score touchdowns, but they usually force them to settle for field goals or they take the ball away. So,
of course, you got to consider the Gators have been very good in this situation. And that shovel pass is incomplete. That is not a fumble. That's an incomplete pass, as it was a forward flip by Tebow intended for Hernandez. The second time that the Gators have run that play. The first one gained about 20 yards. This one is incomplete.
And it looked like they had something there, but I don't know if Tim just didn't get it out to him or what. It just seemed like he never got the handle on it.
I think also Serge Sincere was right there in the area. So,
well, he was in the area, but it looked like you know, they never really got it to Hernandez on that pitch.
Yeah. Now it's 3rd down and goal. 3 receivers to the left, 2 to the right. No backs for Tebow. He's got a man open. It's Ingram. Touchdown, Florida. Cornelius Ingram, the tight end, with his 6th touchdown catch of the year.
Ingram is going to be to the right side of your screen, and you know, when you got a guy like Cornelius Ingram that's a big target at 6'4", 225 pounds, you could throw it up high and away in the back of the end zone, let him go up and make the catch, and he showed some of those basketball skills as he went up, caught the ball, and got 1 foot down in the back of the end zone for the touchdown.
Great hands. And awareness of where he was back in that end zone, Nat, and another touchdown for the Gators. I mentioned Ingram, his 5th touchdown catch of the year, 6th rather, the 7th of his career.
And here he goes, Ingram. He's the inside guy. Outside, you got another little crossing route. Everybody bites on that underneath. He gets deep, gets that foot down, that right foot down, makes the grab. And the key to that catch, David, was that he didn't bobble it. He caught it, he had possession, got that 1 foot down, Easy call for the official to back it in. So
yeah, great athlete, formerly of the basketball program, an ex-quarterback in this football program, and moved to the tight end position. Has thrived in that environment and might have a chance to play on Sundays after his Gator career is completed. He's a fourth-year junior out of Hawthorne, and just an outstanding talent. So Urban Meyer's Gators have jumped to a 21-0 lead with a running touchdown, a passing touchdown, a special teams touchdown, and Howard Schnellenberger has to be wondering what his next move is going to be now, with his team trailing against the number 12 team in the country by 3 touchdowns. Crowd a bit late arriving, as you might expect, with this noon kick. But they are packed in the house now at Ben Hill Griffin Stadium. And the Gators kicking off for the 4th time in the game. And Edgecombe is tripped up at the 20-yard line by Cade Holliday. And just a 17-yard return. Cade Holliday, the son of assistant coach Doc Holliday, and very good special teams player all year.
And what the Gators have done is Joey Ehas has done a nice job of pinning Edgecombe in the right corner each and every time, and then the Gators converge to try and keep him bottled up down there in that side of the field.
Rusty Smith trying to get something going. His offense has yet to find traction against the Gators. Play action fake. Edgecombe on the catch. A.J. Jones, really an improving player, a young linebacker for the Gators with the stop. Let's go to Steve on the field.
Well, it's good to see number 51, Brandon Spikes, back in the game, because Spikes played the first series and then came out. Ryan Stamper had been at middle linebacker, and they were taking a look at Spikes, but he was able to shake whatever was wrong off, and he's back in the game. But it was good to see Ryan Stamper play the middle, because Charlie Strong says one of the best players on this defense, Ryan Stamper, he could play all 3 linebacker spots.
Well, he started against Georgia. That's how much confidence the staff has in Stamper. He's a solid player. Running play, Pierre, 1 yard to the 27.
Gators are doing a real nice job of seeing the football. Pierre looked like he had a hole there that time, David, but the Gators were able to get off their blocks and get around his feet and make the tackle.
Gators impressive the last 2 games in the SEC, with the 49-22 win against Vanderbilt 2 weeks ago, and 51 points scored at South Carolina. Gamecocks did score 31, but that game not really as close even as the score indicates. Smith firing, and a good catch up the sideline by FAU. That's Lester Jean out of Miami's Norland High with a terrific catch and a 23-yard play for the Owls.
Lester Jean gets a good clean release, and it just shows you give Rusty Smith some room to throw the football. He's going to throw it out to your left. He's got a nice clean pocket, and it takes Major Wright coming over to knock him out of bounds. But once again, whenever you give a receiver a good clean release, it makes it very difficult for the safety to get there.
Owls' 4th first down. Pass caught by Jean again. Jean with 12 catches on the season. There's a flag on the play. They had a big game against Minnesota when Rusty Smith was throwing for 463 yards. Jean accounted for 83 of them and has a couple of catches here. But this is going to be a penalty. Preliminary indication against Florida. Well, Howard Schnellenberger deciding whether he wants to take the play or the foul.
Offsides, number 90,
This is a
defense.
big play, a big
5-yard penalty, repeat first down.
positive play. So surprisingly, he takes the penalty, though, Dan.
He takes the down, gets the down back.
But we've seen this inside screen quite a bit against this Gator defense, and a lot of it is because of the man coverage. If you can get somebody out there, and you got a chance of splitting the defense
Into the first quarter.
until the Gators find a way to stop it consistently, we're going to continue to see this.
Urban Meyer's Florida Gators jumping out to an early 21-point lead after 1 quarter. A non-conference game against FAU, and the Gators avoiding the letdown at least early in the opening 15 minutes. Okay. Well, we're back in Gainesville in Florida with an impressive opening 15 minutes, 21-0 our scores. We're set to start the second quarter. David Steele, Matt Moore, Steve Babbitt on the sideline. And we're glad you tuned in today. Just a moment ago, the Gators soccer team was honored on the field, and well, rightfully so. They win the regular season championship. They win the tournament championship, and now competing in the NCAA tournament. And they've won their opening round match as well. They'll be back in action on Sunday in round 2 of the NCAA playoffs. Been another great year for Gator athletics, as the hits just keep on coming in Gainesville. The football is at the 45-yard line, and quarterback Rusty Smith engineering an FAU drive. His pass should have been caught, but it is incomplete, intended for Chris Bonner. Had a chance to make a big play if he catches that in full stride, but he could not hold on. A sophomore from Tampa.
I think this ball is slightly behind him as he reaches back. And believe it or not, if it's not for Spikes, you know, Chris Smith is able to throw this ball in front, but because of Spikes' ability to get in the throwing lane, it forced him to throw the ball behind Bonner.
Should have been a completion, however. It's second down. And it's a reverse. And some running room to the 30-yard line for Rob Hausler. Brought down at the 29-yard line. So Jet takes it one way, and then it comes back to Hausler the opposite. The Gators had a lot of people pursuing in the wrong direction.
Yeah, a little double reverse here. You get the ball to your split receiver, or should I say, yeah, your split receiver coming in motion, and then he gives it back to the slot receiver. Look like they've got the Gator defense circled, but a nice job by Joe Hayden of avoiding the tackle, slowing things down, turning it back inside, and that allowed Major Wright to come over and make the stop.
Best offensive series for the Owls so far today. Edgecombe dancing up the middle to the 25-yard line. A tough 3-yard carry by Dilvori Edgecombe, a junior from Miami. A large percentage of this FAU team from the Sunshine State. I think a majority from South Florida. Howard Schnellenberger has done a great job recruiting, particularly the South Florida area, but all of the state of Florida.
Yeah, Howard is a coach that I played for with the Miami Dolphins back in the late 70s, early 80s, and you know that's one thing about Howard. You know, if you give him time, he will build a program. He will get the athletes in. He's a tireless recruiter, and we're starting to see that here today.
Here's the pitch, Pierre. Wrestled by Hicks at the 23-yard line and driven backwards.
But an outstanding play by Jermaine Cunningham.
Yep.
Jermaine Cunningham is not fooled. You know, a couple teams have ran this play against the Gators, but Jermaine Cunningham staying at home, sees the pitch to the tailback, and is able to run him down and make the tackle.
Cunningham, who had that tremendous game in Baton Rouge with 17 tackles against the Tigers. Third down. Smith throws, batted down. Landon Spikes knocks the ball down. It'll be 4th and 5 for the Owls.
And David, we're seeing more and more of this where guys are just aware and they see the quarterback as he starts to throw the football and then just reacts to the football, gets up, gets his hands on the football. Brandon Spikes is coming on a blitz, sees he can't get there, gets in the throwing lane, knocks it down.
Well, the Gator defense forcing FAU to try a field goal. It'll be a 40-yard attempt by Worley Leroy, whose season long is 46. He's got the distance, and the kick is good. Leroy is 16 of 23, and that one right down Main Street. A 40-yard field goal to put the Owls on the scoreboard. We are early in the second quarter. The Gators scoring 3 unanswered touchdowns, and the Owls put 3 on the board.
One little symbol, but it means so much. It's the combined talents of 2 world-class academic medical centers, the combined passions of 20,000 people linked with a single goal: to bring you the answers that no one else has, the advanced technology no one else offers, to save the lives no one else can. And it all starts with the power of this. UF and Shands, the science of hope.
How safe is your truck? Chevy Silverado half-ton received a 5-star frontal crash test rating. And with OnStar, advisors are there for you 24/7.
I'm glad we could get emergency services out to you.
Ford and Toyota can't say that.
Well-qualified buyers get 0% APR financing for 60 months on the 07 Chevy Silverado half-ton crew cab. Chevy Silverado, this is our truck. See your Southern Chevy dealers or visit southernchevydealers.com.
Ground pepper?
Steak and Shake reintroduces black peppercorn bacon. Available as a premium topping steak burger or on a grilled chicken sandwich.
Steak and Shake, now with black peppercorn bacon for a limited time.
Chocolate turtle bark. Right now, Steak and Shake is adding it to your favorite milkshakes. It's a beloved old holiday tradition we just now came up with.
Steak and Shake.
College football on Sun Sports is brought to you by your local Toyota dealers and the full-size 2007 Toyota Tundra. Sonny's Barbecue. Nothing beats the slow smoke taste of Sonny's Barbecue. Sonny's, serving up feel-good barbecue since 1968. K&G Fashion Superstore. For men, for less. FAU has just scored for the first time today, a 54-yard drive and a 40-yard field goal by Worley Leroy to make it a 21-3 game. Florida with 3 first-quarter touchdowns, one on a 9-yard run by Keyston Moore. A touchdown pass from Tebow to Ingram. Here's the short kick, and it goes out of bounds at about the 30-yard line. And the third Gator touchdown on a block punt. Picked up and run into the end zone by Marcus Manson, the tailback, defensive back. Back to the tailback position this week, and Manson gets a touchdown today in a special team situation.
Free kick.
And, you know, talking about special teams, I wonder if FAU got the memo that Brandon James is not back there. And here you're having the little pooch kick, and you kick it out of bounds. You know, if Brandon James back there, you say, yeah, let's just kick it out of bounds, let him get the ball to the 35-yard line, and, you know, that's great field position.
Didn't get the memo, I guess.
Yeah.
Lewis Murphy is the deep man for the Gators. There's James, who, as Steve Babick reported earlier, is not going to play today, and the situation will be addressed by Urban Meyer in the post-game press conference.
And maybe they don't really know that Brandon James was not going to play, because this is their first opportunity kicking off.
Anybody around here knew. But Brandon James knew.
Yeah.
They're going to pooch it again. And the ball hits on the ground, and it's recovered by the Gators. Dangerous play as Rutledge is able to fall on it. Well, almost worked for FAU.
Well, but the difference is, David, whoever the up back is has got to take that ball.
Yeah.
You know, there's a good look at Bubba Caldwell, who is 3 catches away from tying Carlos Alvarez, a 36-year-old record.
1969. Reeves and Alvarez connecting. What a season that was.
Super sophomores that year.
Of course, this is a career record we're talking about.
Yeah, super sophomores in 69 and 71 graduating class. Tremendous quarterback receiver tandem with John Reeves and Carlos Alvarez.
The handoff to Keyston Moore, a 1-yard gain to the 39-yard line. Council, that defensive end, came crashing in to make the stop. The sophomore out of Melbourne.
The defensive line of the Owls is actually doing a pretty nice job here of basically stuffing the offensive line for the run. Gators have not been able to run the ball effectively at all this afternoon.
Tebow has had good protection all day. Caldwell with the reception, his 6th of the game. And now just 2 yards shy of Carlos Alvarez's career reception mark. Polo made the tackle.
And you've got Andre Caldwell out to the right side of your screen working against their #1 corner, Polo, Davius Polo, and he just goes down 10-yard stop and turn around, and Tebow gets him the football.
Boy, in this bend but don't break philosophy of FAU, Caldwell could have an enormous day today with Tebow throwing under the coverage. Tebow fakes, now fires. He overthrew Murphy, and it is picked off. A rare overthrow by Tebow. And Corey Small is out of bounds in Florida territory.
And this is what this opportunistic defense does. That's their 17th interception of the year. And this time, Tim Tebow throws the ball early. He's looking for Murphy on the skinny post. The ball's thrown early, and it sails on him.
No, he had him wide open.
Oh, yeah, he's got him open. He's got a good lane, but the ball just sails on him. And then the ball is intercepted by Corey Smalls. That's his 4th interception of the year.
He's got 8 career. You mentioned their opportunistic defense, Nat. They're plus 16 in turnovers, which is 2nd in the country.
Well, they just went to plus 17.
Yeah, right now, at least for the moment. And a rare errant throw by Tim Tebow. Smith's pass caught. And the Owls are inside the 15-yard line as the pass is caught by Gent. Cortez Gent, their leading receiver at the wideout spot. Now their tight end Harmon, who hadn't caught one yet, has one more, but Gent's a fine receiver.
This time they were looking for that corner blitz. Gent got a good wide split, which gave Rusty Smith a little bit more time to see the blitz coming.
FAU's offense feeding off the momentum of the Tebow turnover. The handoff to B.J. Manley, and he is stacked up at the 15-yard line. No gain on the play. Manley, senior from Miami. Dustin Doe. Gator linebackers stuffing the play. It'll be 2nd down.
This is a big series for the Owls. If they can push it in, they get back in the ball game 21-10 and take away the momentum of this Gator football team.
Short drop and a penalty flag. Smith was looking to get rid of that ball quickly. There is a flag on the play.
Looked like
before the snap,
B.J. Manley hobbles out
number
for
71,
the Owls.
Offense. 5-yard penalty.
5-yard
Still
penalty
2nd down.
Illegal motion against FAU as well. Another big weekend next weekend. Take a look at this broadcast schedule on Sun Sports. Women's basketball, men's basketball on Friday. That's a big doubleheader. Central and North Florida only. And then, of course, Saturday, the Seminole Gator pregame presented by Texas Pete. That'll come your way at 4 o'clock live here from the stadium. Postgame, as always, afterwards. And then breakfast with the Gators on Sunday. Smith's pass is caught. Touchdown, Owls. Cortez Gent. And Smith showing that strong arm. He really lasered that ball in there to Gent.
Well, this was a play where it looked like they're going to run a go route. Gent goes down 15, 16 yards. He gets Joe Hayden running to the goal line trying to stop the fade, and he just stops. Nice toss by Rusty Smith where he just guns it in there. He catches the ball, works hard back inside, gets into the end zone. So great execution by the FAU Owls.
Leroy with the extra point, and the Owls have scored 10 unanswered points. They capitalize on a Tim Tebow interception, and Rusty Smith, the strong-arm sophomore from Jacksonville, with the touchdown pass to Gent.
Nestled in the...
Welcome back to Gainesville. The Owls have just closed the gap to 11. A 20-yard touchdown pass from Rusty Smith to Cortez Gent. Two-time defending national champion Florida Gators basketball team is going to be back in action. Join Billy Donovan and his new generation of future Gator greats Tuesday. They face in-state rival North Florida. The Gators and the Ospreys Tuesday, 8 o'clock only on Sun Sports. Well, there's a good look at the touchdown maker, Cortez Gent, a local kid out of Chiefland, just outside of Gainesville. And Tim Tebow would like to have that throw back. He had Lewis Murphy on that post wide open, and he just overthrew it. You talk about FAU's opportunistic defense, but that was just not a good throw by Tebow. Murphy trying to make a big play here, and he's got a lot of white shirts surrounding him, and down he goes at the 21-yard line. Now Murphy's a very talented and very fast football player, but now Brandon James is something special.
North
will miss that today.
And south, David. I don't care how special, how fast. When you run sideways, the defenders have a decided advantage.
Yeah, that's exactly what Billy Gonzalez just told him too.
Gators need to try and regain the momentum. They need to take this ball down and put some points on the board. The only time they've been stopped is when they've stopped themselves with the interception.
Now Tebow has completed 12 of 14 for 159 yards, but he's thrown the interception. And this play is going nowhere. Tebow appeared to want to hand the ball off inside to Moore, but he kept it. They almost lost possession of it. Tebow goes down for no gain.
Just don't look smooth on the ball handling there, as they are getting good penetration, getting a good stalemate by the Owls at the line of scrimmage, and it's forcing Tim to read it, take a little bit longer to read that option, David, I think.
Second and 10. FAU's not a big blitzing team, so Tebow with no backs throws it over the middle. He looked for Caldwell, but the pass was incomplete.
A little zone blitz that particular play. They brought the outside linebacker, and then they dropped Javonte Jackson back in coverage, and he ran right into Andre Caldwell.
That'll be 3rd down and 10 for the Gators.
But if you notice, they still only brought 4 people.
Right.
Well, they just believe that it's very difficult when you've got to go the length of the field without making a mistake.
Pressure from the outside. Tebow gets rid of the football, and FAU looking for an intentional grounding flag. Did he get outside of the tackle?
There's no foul.
There was
in the area, and
number 11
to get the ball out to his left.
That was a blitz coming from the safety spot.
Coming from the backside, but they showed it all the way. They had 7, 8 men up at the line of scrimmage, and you'll see the blitz coming from the backside. And just a poor job of blocking that time by the offensive lineman, big number 76, Marcus Gilbert.
And Greg Joseph got in there and put a hit on Tim Tebow. Henry punting for the first time today. It's a wobbler. Low, short. Trying to field it and almost lost possession. That's Tebey's Polo. Took a chance on trying to pick that football up and almost fumbled it away. Polo, the freshman from Fort Lauderdale. Florida's saying they've got it.
Well, it usually comes out as who's the strongest down there in that scrum. And Gators are saying they've got it, but the referee says
nope.
The Owls have recovered.
Tavius Polo may have been the man on the bottom. I think he did come out with the football.
No, he did not.
No?
Number 43 for the Gators, which is James Smith.
All right. Took a chance trying to pick it up and run with it. The Gators still lead by 21-10. Florida Gators ranked number 12 in the latest BCS rankings, leading the Florida Atlantic Owls out of the Sun Belt Conference 21-10. First ever meeting between these two in-state schools. FAU's only been playing football since 2001. Hey, Gator fans, stop by any SunTrust branch. Learn how to get $100 for your favorite charity or a $50 gift card to keep for your own cause. Rusty Smith just took this football team in for its first touchdown of the game on a 20-yard completion to Cortez Jett. Now they've got the ball back. And he fires, and it's complete again. So Smith beginning to find a rhythm as Chris Bonner holds on at the Florida 45-yard line.
And this ball is out in a second. He gets the ball. He's back in the shotgun. 3 steps. Ball's gone. Hard for the Gators to get there. You've seen they've tried to knock it down a couple times. And once you get the linebacker overrunning, leaving that zone, he just throws around the linebacker, spikes. Another reception.
Run the ball to Edgecombe this time, and a good tackle by Brandon Spikes. Edgecombe might have had a big gainer there if not for the shoestring grab by Brandon Spikes, the sophomore.
Yeah, this play starts to come out of the front door, and Spikes sees this, able to fight off the block of the fullback and then make the play. But if not, Edgecombe's probably off to the races, and that could have been a touchdown.
Edgecombe frustrated that he couldn't break the tackle of Spikes. Second down, the Owls marching again. The tight end, Jason Harmon, has yet to catch a pass, and he came in here with 44 receptions, their primary target. And Greg Madison compared him to the Gators' Cornelius Ingram earlier this week, said he's a big-time player. Number 88 so far has yet to catch one. Madison had great respect for the FAU offense. He says, you're looking at a team capable of doing very much what Troy did early in the season with Rusty Smith and some playmakers on this Owl attack. Smith has good protection and a good catch. Once again, Bonner, and the Owls march it to the 25-yard line of Florida.
And David, what a good job by not just the receivers, but also the running backs picking up the blitzer. Nice job there by the running back, getting Spikes on the blitz, and then Bonner, a little corner route, and just does an outstanding job catching the ball in his hands.
Now, if you're looking for the Gators to make a play and force a turnover, this FAU team has done a great job of taking care of the football this year, and the Gators have not forced a lot of miscues. This play broken up on the pass completed to Gene, but the Gators had a lot of blue shirts surrounding him, and Joe Hayden at the bottom of the pile. Let's get an update from Steve.
A few plays ago, David, we saw that nice tackle by Brandon Spikes. Boy, has he developed into the linebacker that the Gator defensive staff hoped he would be, replacing Brandon Seiler. Solid against the run, getting better and better with his pass drops and coverage. And then earlier, we saw him check the running back, come in the passing lane, and get a pass deflection. Brandon Spikes is simply becoming one of the better linebackers in the SEC right now.
Joe Hayden is a little hobbled there, guys, and starting to come out of the ball game. The trainers go out to meet him. Marquise Anderson comes in to replace him.
Hayden, a valuable player in the Florida secondary, but only a freshman. However, he has come on quickly and very strong. There's Anderson, who was the expected starter at one corner position this year, but suffered a knee injury in camp just before the start of the season and had another injury about a week later. Just hadn't been able to get his legs under him for most of the year. So Anderson is on the field. It's second down and 11. Gators come with a blitz. They pick it up. The receiver's open. It is incomplete. Overthrown was Lester Jean, and he had a couple of steps.
Yeah, one of the things that has hampered Marquise Anderson is his inability to run with that bad knee. He's not 100% yet, but he's giving it a go. Great protection by the Owls offensive line. Gene has a couple steps. He just overshoots his intended target.
Yeah, that could have been 6 for the Owls.
Yeah.
It's third down and 11 at the 26-yard line.
Anderson just hobbled off himself, as looked like that knee's still bothering him as well, David.
Blitz up the middle. And Smith throws it into the ground, incomplete. It's going to be fourth down for the Owls, and they'll send their field goal team on to try and cut the lead to 8.
Good stop for the Gators, keeping them out of the end zone. Had a near miss when he had Lester Jean open in the back of the end zone, wasn't able to hit him, but good pressure by Jermaine Cunningham, forcing Rusty Smith out of the pocket as he tries to get the ball to his fullback, Dominic Walker.
43-yard attempt now by Leroy. Was already hit from 40 today. It looks good. And it is a 43-yard field goal by Worley Leroy, who has now knocked in 5 straight. A couple last week against Arkansas State, a couple, actually 3 2 weeks ago against Louisiana Monroe. And 2 for 2 today. Howard Schnellenberger's team, well, they were a little shell-shocked early, but they have settled down now, Nat, and their defensive line has done a good job of controlling the line of scrimmage, and all of a sudden Smith begins to find some rhythm, and FAU's offense looks much, much better.
Well, if you're Howard Schnellenberger, you say to your troops here, we're going to go into a madhouse with the Gator faithfuls there at the Swamp. If we can weather the storm, and the Gators come out and put 21 quick points on, and everybody thinks it's going to be a cakewalk, and now we've got a ball game. FAU comes back, they score a field goal, a touchdown, and a field goal. So they've scored the last 3 times they've had the football, similar to the Gators scoring the first couple times that they had the football. So now it's time for the Gators to try and regain some momentum, because you're starting to let a team feel like they can win this game.
Another pooch kick, and the up guy is going to catch it this time. His knee was on the ground. And that was Ryan Stamper, who is down at the 31-yard line. Well, you take away the block punt by the Gators, and Florida's offense has 14 points, and FAU has scored 13 points, although it was a Gator turnover that helped set up one of FAU's touchdowns. But still, it's a 14-13 game without that block punt.
Yeah, but the Gators are just basically dominating until you get the turnover. You get the one errant pass, and that changed the momentum of the ball game. And within 3 plays, FAU is in the end zone.
Florida's setting up at the 31-yard line, 1st and 10. Their lead was 21 now and has been cut to 8. Tebow options. On the pitch. Caldwell. 45 and out of bounds at the 47-yard line. Andre Caldwell. Polo rides him out of bounds, but a 16-yard gain on the option.
And David, what we're seeing is the many different ways that you can use Andre Caldwell. That time he lines up at the tailback and he runs the option similar to Percy Harvin. Another guy with speed that has the ability to get outside and take it the distance if he finds a crease.
Harvin unavailable today, so is Brandon James, 2 of the big playmakers in the Florida offense. And Caldwell has stepped forward. Tebow. Pressure, shows a strong arm, but Murphy can't hold on. The pass was high and it is incomplete. Tebow throwing from his back foot, getting hit as he delivered, still threw a rope out there intended for Murphy.
And I tell you what I'm starting to see, David. I'm starting to see a lot of confidence in this FAU football team, where now you're starting to see the Gators playing football on their side of the line of scrimmage instead of the Owls side of the line of scrimmage. So they're getting after the Gators pretty good, with the momentum having swung their way.
Well, they start to think and believe in themselves that they can compete out here, and they certainly are doing that. Midway in the 2nd quarter. Here comes a blitz, the linebacker right up the middle. Tebow, though, throws a strike. That's a great play by Tebow to avoid the sack and then put it right on the money to Lewis Murphy.
Nice job of throwing the football on the run. He gets pressure right up the middle. Now he's going to scramble out to his strong side, his left side, and he's able to pick up Lewis Murphy coming across the middle. Now what you'd like to see Lewis do is eventually turn this upfield and start to try and pick up additional yardage. That should have been a 1st down. Instead, it's 3rd and 3 because he ran lateral the whole time.
Florida's offense needs to pick this 1st down up to gather a little momentum back. FAU has taken that away from them here in the 2nd quarter. Bringing a lot of folks. Floats it up for Caldwell. He's got it. Andre Caldwell is tripped up at the 5-yard line. Tavius Polo saved a touchdown for FAU.
But what an outstanding job by Tim Tebow, because he mishandles this snap. He gets pressure, and then under the gun, he's able to reset his feet and just lob the ball. He throws this early. He knows they can't pick the blitz. He throws it early, and he throws a perfect pass to Andre Caldwell going down the sideline against Tavius Polo.
FAU is not defending as the Gators expected. They have really started selling out, blitzing Tebow time after time. That time, Tebow made him pay. Flag down. Tebow to the 4, but there is a penalty flag upon the snap of the ball. George Allen, a linebacker, number 50, made the tackle. Tebow has already thrown for over 200 yards today, 14 of 19. And Bubba Colwell has 103 yards reception.
Offsides, number 96, defense lined up in the neutral zone.
He was offside.
Half the distance to the goal.
Move the football inside the 3.
Third time today that we've seen either the Gators or the Owls line up in the neutral zone and get called for offside defensively.
First down and goal for the Gators just inside the 3. Tebow out of the shotgun. He's going to try and run it in. Lowers his head, but he is hit head on right there in the gap. That's the linebacker, Franz Joseph, the junior from Fort Lauderdale, who made the stop right up in the gap.
And David, what they're doing is they're just making a pile, and then linebackers are staying back. Now there's going to be a big pile right there. Now watch Tim Tebow. He thinks he sees a hole, and the linebackers are filling. You know what they want to do is create a pile where he's got to move around, and then the linebackers are taking their time. They're not being overzealous and running into the pile.
Tim Tebow is a marked man by that FAU defense. He'll roll out to his right, try to get it in the corner, and he does. Touchdown, Tebow. And there was nothing up the middle, so Tebow took it to the outside.
And once again, the Owls really had this play covered because the outside linebacker, George Allen, is right there. But then Tim Tebow, with his strength, breaks the one-arm tackle and then just cruises into the end zone. But another outstanding run by Tim Tebow to put the Gators up potentially 15 points.
Extra point is good by E. Haas. It is 28-13. Tebow now with 20 rushing touchdowns for the year. That is a new Southeastern Conference record. Remarkable. Tim Tebow puts it in the end zone. The Gators up by 15.
This holiday season, Sonny's is putting something special on your table. Now build a rib platter the way you want it with our sensational rib combos at a very special $9.99. Try Sonny's sweet and smoky St. Louis ribs and barbecue chicken. Or enjoy our ribs with lean and juicy pork. Not to be outdone, Sonny's ribs and hand-pulled brisket. Sonny's sensational rib combos, just $9.99. Together for the holidays.
Tim Tebow with the touchdown run, and it is his 20th touchdown carry of the season. Just an amazing record by Tim Tebow. He's just rushed past Garrison Hurst of Georgia, Sean Alexander of Alabama, LeBrandon Tofield of LSU, 3 pretty good running backs in Southeastern Conference history. Running backs we're talking about, not quarterbacks, who had 19 touchdown runs in a season. Now Tim Tebow in his sophomore year at Florida has carried for his 20th touchdown of the year. So there it is. Hurst, Alexander, Tofield are in the rearview mirror of Tim Tebow.
Well, and usually when you see a quarterback that runs the football and scores touchdowns like that, he can't throw. But you can't say that about Tim Tebow because he already has, what, 24 touchdown passes to his credit.
Thrown one today, run for one today. Edgecombe from the 10-yard line. He ran right into the man trying to bust up the play. It's a great play in special teams again. Dorian Monroe blowing that play up. Here's another look at Tebow's touchdown. Number 20.
Keyston Moore looked like he's got the key block there. He misses his block, and Allen has a chance to make the play, but Tebow just steps around him, breaks the arm tackle. Right here, you expect Keyston Moore to get the block. He's trying to seal him in. He doesn't get him, so he turns back. And this allows Tim Tebow to do what he does best, which is score touchdowns. Good blocking by Eric Rutledge out there from the fullback position as well.
Rusty Smith rolling right. His pass is dropped. Another dropped pass. And there's the tight end who has yet to be a factor today, Jason Harmon. Has no catches.
A lot of Gators around Jason Harmon as he's trying to catch the football, and he's had a couple of behind him, a couple of them out in front, and just haven't gotten involved in the ball game. But before the day's out, those two will connect.
You would think. 43 catches coming in for Harmon. 2nd and 10. Smith going deep. Intended for Jet. He's got it at the Florida 44-yard line.
And what an outstanding adjustment on the football by Cortez Gent.
It really was.
As he's looking for this ball to be thrown inside, he's working against Joe Hayton. But look at the protection and the time that Rusty Smith has to throw this football. He just launches it outside, and Gent's able to turn around and catch it over his outside shoulder for another first down for the Owls.
Big completion. Smith has now passed for 161 yards. The Owls have not been able to run the ball effectively, consistently today. This one getting only a couple of yards. Charles Pierre.
And David, this is not a big running football team. They throw the football. Howard Snellenberger has been outstanding with quarterbacks in his history in college, with Jim Kelly and Bernie Kosar. You just go right down the list, and if you give him a guy with some talent, he will develop them into a pretty good quarterback.
2nd down and 9. Short drop. And again, Smith delivers it in there to Gent. Well, he really has a laser arm, doesn't he?
Well, and
very accurate too.
And what he's doing right now, because they're mixing it up so well, they're throwing the slant route, then they're throwing the quick fade, and it's just so many different things that the corner. You hear the old saying about a cornerback being out there on the island. Right now, with the way Rusty Smith is throwing this football and the receivers are running routes and catching the ball, the corners are out there on an island.
Hayden is back, but he's been victimized a couple of times here, and they're going at him again. Harmon is the intended receiver, and this time Smith overthrows him.
Joe Hayden is 5'11", and they take a chance. They try and isolate 6'3" Jason Harmon, the big tight end, on him one-on-one. But it shows you the skill and the confidence they have in Jason Harmon that they'll put him out there on a cornerback and let him run routes like a wide receiver.
And again, Harmon is lined up opposite Hayden at the top of your screen on 2nd and 10. Willie Rose with a nice run, still on his feet across the 25 to the Florida 21. And that's going to be a FAU first down, a 13-yard carry by Rose. Trateau made the tackle for the Gators.
Gators are in pass coverage, and they give the ball to the fullback. He doesn't get it much, but usually when he gets it, he does pretty daggone good with it as he picks up another Owl first down.
Breaking tackles along the way. Rose 6'1", 227. 1st and 10 for FAU. Hand off Pierre. Might have gotten back to the line of scrimmage. A.J. Jones was there along with Justin Trateau. Gator men's and women's basketball team going to play the doubleheader on Tuesday, November the 20th. The women taking on Prairie View A&M at 5:30, and then the men against North Florida at 8 p.m. If you'd like ticket information, visit Gatorzone.com. FAU threatening at the Florida 21. Smith pursued by Dunlap, throwing, and it is complete near the goal line. Cortez Gent is again the receiver.
And what you like about this play, if you're an Owl fan, is the way Cortez Gent comes back to meet the football. Rusty Smith gets outside the pocket. He's a tremendous athlete at 6'5", and then he's able to square his shoulders and get a lot on the football. Just a good job of throwing on the run. See how he squares his shoulders, David, and then gets a lot on the football, getting the ball down to the Gator 2-yard line.
1st and goal for FAU. Give to Pierre. fighting his way to the 1, then driven back. It'll be 2nd and goal at the Florida 1-yard line. A.J. Jones, the strong safety as well, Tony Joyner. Knock him back, but it'll be 2nd down and goal as the Owls try to answer a Florida touchdown and get the game back to an 8-point contest. This FAU offense started slowly, but played an outstanding 2nd quarter. 1:25 left in the period. And now the Owls shift Smith from the shotgun. They spread things out, and Smith walks in for the touchdown.
A lot of confusion by that Gator defensive staff because they had taken Joe Hayden out of the ball game. They only had one corner in the ball game, and all of a sudden you go empty backfield. You got 5 people out there, and you got linebackers, everybody running around confused, and they call a quarterback draw, just straight up the middle.
Right out of the Dan Mullen Florida playbook, spread things out and let the quarterback carry the football. And now the Owls, with the extra point, have cut the lead back to 8. So FAU playing with great confidence here in the swamp. And here's another look at the touchdown.
And I tell you what, Dave, he saw how wide open this play was. He almost got called for motion as he started for it prior to the snap of the football. But great play calling by the Owls. And I have to give, we talk about Howard Snellenberger being a head coach, but, Gary Nord, or should I say Gard Nord, excuse me, is the offensive coordinator and the quarterback coach. So.
Excellent job.
Nice look at the 6'5" sophomore out of Sandalwood High School in Jacksonville.
Well,
Rusty Smith
doesn't run the ball much, but in fact, that's his first rushing touchdown of the season. But he made it look easy on that one.
I'll tell you what,
the Owls have cut the lead to 8.
I'm impressed with his ability to get outside of the pocket and still throw the ball as accurately as he does on the run.
The offensive line by Florida Atlantic. Florida Atlantic, they pass a lot, so their guys are very good at pass protection. Florida hasn't come close, maybe 1 sack, but they haven't gotten one. And on the run blocking, good enough. So that FAU offensive line doing a great job.
Well, they've done well on both sides of the ball at the line of scrimmage. Murphy going north and south this time. FAU trying to strip the ball out of his arms. He holds on, and he is tackled at about the 36-yard line. Now with 1:08 left, the Gators leading by only 8 points. I think you're going to see the offense try and put some points on the scoreboard here.
Yeah, you've got the football right now. You want to come away with a scoring opportunity, plus you get the ball to start the second half. But you want to take that momentum back that FAU just gained by going down scoring. You want to get that back before you go in at halftime. You don't want FAU coming out feeling like they've got this thing on the wraps and they got a shot. So very important that the Gators put some points on the board here.
Coming from the outside with a strong rush. Tebow throwing, completing the pass to Caldwell, and Andre is out of bounds at the 46-yard line. His 8th catch of the first half, leaving him 1 shy of the school record.
Well, this here will give him a tie for the record, so this is just as important. But also, watch the smartness and the heads up right there. Get out of bounds, stop the clock. Nice job getting as much as he can and getting out of bounds.
Senior, former high school quarterback at Jefferson High in Tampa. Brother Richey, NFL receiver. Andre now in the record books, #1, along with Alvarez. Tebow evades the rush. Now he's going to carry and step out of bounds, stopping the clock with 56 seconds to play in the first half. Great pressure coming from the linebacker, Sincere. And it was Tebow able to avoid the sack.
Well, if Tim Tebow was the average quarterback and was right-handed, Surge would have had a big hit. But Tim Tebow seen him coming all the way and just gave him a little feint. Got outside, picked up the first down, stopped the clock by getting out of bounds.
Florida's offense has generated some impressive numbers in the first half, but so has FAU's offense. Both teams about 250 yards in total offense. Tebow with protection this time. Again, he's going to run it. Out of bounds at the 49, and the clock stops with 48 seconds to play in the first half.
And there we see what a zone defense does for you, especially when the linebackers get good deep drops. There's just nobody open down the field, and Tim Tebow waited as long as he could, David, before he broke the pocket and then decided to get out of bounds. But you know, when you look at the all 22, you see the linebackers getting good drops, everybody staying in their lane. There's really nowhere to throw the football because there's a white shirt next to every Gator receiver, and Tim wisely didn't throw the ball up for grabs.
FAU's doing a good job of mixing up their defenses now after being very vanilla early in the game. Tebow hit as he throws. Keyston Moore with the catch. This time he does not get out of bounds at the 46-yard line of FAU. There's a flag down, however, at the line of scrimmage. Good tackle by Corey Small in the open field. This flag going to go against the Gators. What was the signal, man? I missed it. Illegal motion?
Illegal motion.
Look like it's,
Number 9, offense. 5-yard penalty. Repeat second down.
So we'll repeat second down. The clock still at 43. Urban Meyer's Gators trying to get some late second quarter points after they led by 21 in the first quarter. The Owls come storming back. Tebow steps up, and a flag. Well, the rush coming from George Allen, untouched from the left side.
False start. Number 7.
Another false start on the Gators.
5-yard penalty.
and it just looked
Still
like
second
the
down.
Gators are in a tailspin. Basically, not sure of their protection. You know, they really didn't expect to see this kind of. They didn't expect to see the blitzing come out of the Owls like this. If you look at the top of your screen, you'll see Cornelius Ingram, basically at the slot receiver, actually start to move prior to the snap.
I think defensive coordinator Kirk Hosa has thrown some things at Dan Mullen's offense that the Gators did not expect, at least after the first couple of series.
As well as this offensive line that expected to see the 4-man rush and have all day to make a play.
Caldwell has the school record, surpassing Carlos Alvarez with that catch, his 9th of the game. But there is another flag on the play.
And I think they're going to give one of the Gator offensive linemen for a late hit. And a push in the back.
Well, if you're right, Nat, that'll be 3 consecutive flags on the last 3 plays against the Gators.
Yep.
Not the way Florida wanted to finish up
After
this quarter.
Personal foul. Number 45.
Oh, it's going the other way.
Oh.
Goes against FAU for a personal foul.
And what a big break that is for the Gators. Helps move them down the field, gets them in field position. Let's go and see what we see here. The Gators are looking for the blitz.
30-second timeout.
Andre Caldwell gets the record on that particular play as he catches the football, and he becomes the all-time leading receiver in Gator history as he passes Carlos Alvarez, and I think that number is what, 173?
173. There's the number sitting atop the leaderboard. Andre Caldwell, what a fabulous career. And here's a guy that has battled through injuries, suffered a broken leg. The opening kick 2 years ago against Tennessee. That was Carlos Alvarez on the sideline cheering Andre Caldwell on.
And nice gesture that time, I think, David, by the officials as they took the timeout to give Caldwell a chance to be acknowledged. The Gators were not forced to use one of their timeouts to acknowledge Andre Caldwell's feat.
Very nice.
I take back all those bad things I used to say about the officials.
They're not always wrong, are they, or bad? Trying to do their best. Ball is at the 36. The Gators trying to put some points on the board late in the second quarter. In FAU territory. Tebow, little rocker step, and for the 4th consecutive play, a flag is on the field.
Before the snap, false start. Number 81. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
Full start on the offense.
Reset the
He
game
pointed
clock
toward FAU,
27
but
seconds.
it's 5 yards against the Gators.
Gators just seem to be mentally not be into the ball game, David, as they continually make mistake after mistake. And
they could find themselves in some serious trouble in the second half if they're not able to turn this thing around. FAU has the confidence and the momentum. Tebow throwing it. Was it a one-hopper or a catch? They're going to say a catch for Caldwell.
And a super job by Andre Caldwell, going down to both knees, getting both arms underneath the football for the reception. This play is going to happen right in the middle of the field. He comes in, big hole there, goes down, makes sure of the reception.
Second charge timeout of the half. 30-second timeout.
Yeah, great job as Caldwell now has 10 receptions in the first half, and he eclipses Carlos Alvarez. Steve Babbitt.
Thanks, David. First of all, Carlos, I know you wanted to be here to see this. Congratulations to you for that long record, but I know that you're proud to see Bubba Caldwell break it.
Very proud of Bubba. Very proud of him staying through all the injuries he's had. He's having just a fabulous game, and I can't be happier for him.
Carlos, you did your record in 3 years.
I know I did it in 3 years. There's a lot of different things that go into it. But let me tell you, Bubba deserves it. He's having a great game today, and he may break the single game record if he keeps it up. I mean, he's really a fabulous player.
You had a chance to come to Thursday's practice. You talked to Bubba Caldwell. What'd you tell him?
I just tell him really on behalf of my teams, on behalf of all the Gator Nation, how proud we were of him. And the fact that he stayed that last year and played for the Gators, we're really proud of him.
Carlos, glad to have you here. Thank you very much.
It's a pleasure, always.
Thanks, Steve. A class act, Carlos Alvarez. Caldwell is the intended receiver, and the pass was overthrown. Bubba was being tied up by Tavius Polo. Let's look again at the catch by Caldwell that set the record.
And this is pretty much just a little bubble screen where he catches the football, but then he shows you what a tenacious runner he is after the catch, how valuable an asset he is. It doesn't have to be thrown down the field 15, 20 yards for it to become a 15-yard reception because of his ability to run with the ball after the catch.
Well, you think about all the great receivers that have come through this university in 101 years, and Bubba Caldwell is number one. Tebow. Ingram open, great catch, touchdown Florida.
And David, we talked about answering the Owls touchdown, and that time, you know, everybody's worried about the receivers on the outside. You get a double zone look, and Cornelius Ingram goes right through the middle of that defense, goes up extremely high, makes the catch, because even that pass, David, was a tad high. But when you got a guy that's 6'3" and can jump like a basketball center, it helps a little bit.
That's a great catch by Ingram. The extra point gives the Gators a 15-point lead again with 9 seconds left. And Ingram has his second touchdown catch of the game. This one really one for the highlight reel for Cornelius.
And David, what he did, he gathered himself so that he could go up at the highest point to make that catch. And then still being aware that he's not in the end zone, he catches the football. He's right here in the middle of your screen, right there. Now watch him go up high, catches the football very softly in his hand, comes down, gets into the end zone for a Gator touchdown.
Injured Gator on the field. We think it's Marquise Pouncey, number 56 or 55?
56.
That's 56.
Yep.
Offensive lineman. Well, hopefully big freshman is going to be all right. Now it is 5'5". There you see the jersey clearly. That's Michael Pouncey, twin brothers. Michael moved to the defensive side of the ball a couple of weeks ago and has been a tremendous asset on that defensive line. He was blocking on special teams on the extra point.
Yeah, he doubles on special teams, plays on a lot of the special teams, and on the extra point and field goal, he comes in as one of the interior offensive linemen.
Here's a guy that plays hard with great pride and has that great size and strength, enthusiasm for the game of football, an important player, and it looks like he's going to be all right, helped off the field. What about Cornelius Ingram, the converted quarterback made a good catch on his first touchdown of the game, but stepped it up a notch. That degree of difficulty on that last one was extraordinary, as he's able to put 2 of them in the end zone here in the first half.
And both receptions, you see him going up, catching the ball in his hands, and showing that confidence that a lot of receivers don't have. They want to try and body catch everything. This time Cornelius goes up extremely high, catches the football, is aware of where he's at on the football field, and then gets into the end zone.
You know, you look at the stat sheet now, you'd think this was a 4-quarter game. 35-20. Total yardage is 298 for the Gators, 254 for FAU. We still have 30 minutes of football to play here.
Well, you're talking about 2 football teams that throw the ball exceptionally well, and they both have thrown it exceptionally well here in the first half.
Have they ever?
And let's say 2 teams that really don't defend the pass very well either.
Well, let's go ahead and say that too, because if you say that, you'd be absolutely right. 35-20, and still in the first half of the game. Tebow has thrown for 2 touchdowns. He's run for another. He averages 4 touchdowns accounted for per game. You believe that? 42 touchdowns coming in, 4.2 per game, and has accounted for 3 of them here today. The Heisman candidate. Many believe the Heisman front runner. We'll talk more about that in the second half of the game.
But the great part about that is he averages 4 touchdowns a game, but 2 of them are basically running, and 2 of them are passing.
This pass was caught down there. Bonner came up with the football
into the second
at
quarter.
about the 6-yard line. Now time is gone in the second period, but you can just add on about 50 more yards to that FAU total. They're not going to get any points out of it, but that is a 52-yard pass, and all that does, Nat, is give Smith some confidence. We'll talk more in a moment, but right now to Steve.
Coach, first of all, your thoughts on the first half. A very good start to the game.
A good start, but we got to play much better defense. I think the drive at the end of the half is a big momentum build, but we're down some personnel. Joe Hayden, it looks like Mike Pound's got to find out what's wrong with him, but we got to play much better defense.
Coach, what'd you like about that last stretch of football? Some good football down there. Nice catch by CI.
Yeah, that was a great catch by CI, and Bubba's doing a great job, but we just got to, our line's got to protect Tim a little bit better. He's getting scrambled out there, but Tim's making some plays, and so CI, that was a great play at the end of the half.
Coach, special play for Bubba Caldwell, broke the record today, I know, and Carlos Alvarez was here to see it.
Just got to win this game. That's most important.
Thanks, Coach.
Urban Meyer not really interested in those personal records right now. His team is in a dogfight, Nat, against FAU. It's a 35-20 game, and Rusty Smith throwing the ball all over the ballpark. But Florida leads it by 15. The Gators scored the first 21 points of the game, but FAU began to gather itself, and Howard Schnellenberger's club is in it. However, Florida with a 15-point advantage at the half. 35-20, the Gators in the lead. We'll be back. Halftime from Gainesville. The Gators lead the Owls 35-20. A high-scoring first half, to say the least, as we've seen footballs flying all over the place, but the Gators have the 2-touchdown advantage against Florida Atlantic out of the Sun Belt Conference. Welcome back, everybody. David Steele and Nat Moore. Well, it looks like the Gators might run away from FAU, Nat, but the Tebow interception turned things around, and FAU has a confident football team right now.
Well, a very offensive-minded football team that know that they can put points on the board, so once you give them a window, they start to come back after you, and that's what they've done here at the first half.
All right, Nat, take a look at some highlights from the first half of the game.
And Bubba Caldwell was the story as he gets the Gators off to a good start. He makes a catch, and then he runs 22 yards to set up this 9-yard run by Keyston Moore to put the Gators up to start the ball game 7-0. And then Joey Sorrentino gets into the act as he comes in. He blocks the kick of Mickey Grudy, the punter, and then Marcus Manson picks it up, takes it 19 yards to put the Gators up 14-0 early in the ball game. Cornelius Ingram, big tight end for the Gators, is also having a great ball game. He catches this ball. Oh, excuse me. This is the interception by Tim Tebow as he throws it and it overshoots his intended receiver. Corey Small is able to set up this play here where Sorrentino catches the football, gets into the end zone. And then Bubba Caldwell, once again, showing the ability that he possessed to get deep as he goes 47 yards, and that sets up the Tim Tebow 2-yard run outside, and that puts the Gators up by the score of 28-13. And then, not to be outdone, Rusty Smith shows that he can run it on a quarterback keeper 1-yard run, and the FAU Owls are back in the game. 28-20, and then Cornelius Ingram, second touchdown catch of the afternoon, and this puts the Gators up 35-20 at halftime.
Let's revisit the keys to the game, brought to you by Chevrolet. Visit Chevy.com. Find out why Chevy Silverado is the 2007 Motor Trend Truck of the Year.
By FAU came into the ball game, they wanted to throw the football. They've done that. 247 yards passing here at halftime. Defensively, they wanted to be able to stop the run force. You have to throw the football. They have stopped the Gators from running the football, but they have not been able to take advantage of the Gators throwing the football, as the Gators have thrown for 267 yards and 2 touchdowns. Offensively, the Gators wanted to stay away from turnovers. We've turned the ball over once with the errant pass by Tim Tebow. Defensively, we wanted to be able to shut down the pass. That has not happened, as FAU has 247 yards passing already here at half.
Well, I guess it shouldn't be a big surprise that Howard Schnellenberger's Owls have been able to throw the ball as well as they have. The Gators have struggled in that department all year. On the opening kick of the second half, Lewis Murphy almost takes it all the way, and he is brought down at the FAU 43-yard line. Lewis running north and south on that particular kick return. He still too much east and west in the first half, but nothing but straight ahead for Murphy on this carry. And the Gators are in great field position at the Owl 43.
And he hit it. You know, a lot of times you want to go north and south, but you're dancing and you're still trying to pick your way. That time Lewis Murphy made one move and just split the defense and came very close to going the distance.
So Tebow and company with a 15-point lead to start the third period. Tebow keeps on the option. Good decision by the sophomore, and he runs it to the Owl 29. Tahim Acevedo makes the tackle for the Owls, but a big pickup on first down for the Gators in the option.
Well, Tahim Acevedo was the guy that said that, you know, he was looking forward to the opportunity to knock Tim Tebow out of the ball game. Well, here's his opportunity, and you know what? Looked like he got knocked into the cheap seats.
Tebow lowering his shoulder into number 9, the senior from Miami. No backs. Tebow, rocker step forward, firing. He's got Hernandez, who gets hit hard but holds on. Bartell's the strong safety, really put a licking on him. But Aaron Hernandez, the freshman tight end, holds on to the football.
Big tight end knows he's going to take a lick and goes in there. This is a very risky throw this time by Tim Tebow, as he fits this ball into a very tight quarter, as Chris Bartell gets there right as he's catching the football, and Hernandez hangs on.
Look at the numbers on Tebow. 19 out of 25, 283 yards and a pair of touchdowns. Handoff up the middle. Keyston Moore, who had a 9-yard touchdown run in the first quarter, picking up about 9 yards there. Serge Sincere makes the tackle for FAU, but a nice run and good blocking up front by the Gators.
Good blocking up front. Carlton Metter has moved over to the right guard position. Marcus Gilbert is actually playing the right tackle, so good cohesiveness by Metter moving into the guard position, working with Drew Miller and Jim Tart to clear up a big gap there for the backs to run through.
So Gilbert one tackle, Watkins the other. On second down and short yardage. Up the middle. Almost untouched. Keyston Moore's second touchdown run of the game.
Great blocking at the point of attack by the offensive line. Now they're starting to take control of the line of scrimmage. You know, early in the ball game, the Gators were not able to run the ball as effectively. This time everybody blocks down to their left. Jim Tart comes around, gets the kick out block, and Moore walks into the end zone.
Now 4 plays, 43 yards, and a touchdown for the Gators to start the second half.
And David, that's the way you punish those teams that keep going with that little short high kick, forcing you to fair catch it. Well, they give you great field position, but if you don't take advantage of it, you don't punish them, and they'll continue to do it.
Boy, the Gators really took advantage of that field position this time, wasting no time and putting it in the end zone.
Good things happen when you open a SunTrust checking account. You get more than great checking. You get a chance to help the community. For a limited time, just open a SunTrust checking account, accept and make a purchase with your new check card, and we'll donate $100 in your name to the charity of your choice. Or you can get a $50 gift card to keep for your own cause. So, how will you help your community? Visit your local SunTrust branch today.
Ground pepper?
Steak and Shake reintroduces black peppercorn bacon. Available as a premium topping steak burger or on a grilled chicken sandwich.
Steak and Shake, now with black peppercorn bacon for a limited time.
Chocolate turtle bark. Right now, Steak and Shake is adding it to your favorite milkshakes. It's a beloved old holiday tradition we just now came up with.
Steak and Shake.
Step back in time at the 2007 Sebring Historic Fall Classic presented by Allen J Automotive Network at Sebring International Raceway, November 30th through December 2nd. See your favorite vintage sports cars, Porsche, BMW, and historic sports car racing, the Muscle and Rolex Endurance Challenges, Dash Series races, and the 4 Hours of Sebring. For tickets, call 1-800-626-RACE. Get a 3-day super ticket for just $45 and get access to the competitors' paddock. The 2007 Sebring Historic Fall Classic presented by Allen J Automotive Network.
Now, there's an internet site that was made for Gator fans. FightinGators.com, powered by Scout.com. Get exclusive recruiting updates, interviews, and insider reports on breaking Gator news. With daily bulletins, email alerts, and message boards. For the best Gator coverage on the net, go to FightinGators.com, powered by Scout.com.
On the second play of the fourth quarter in a tightly contested SEC championship game, Percy Harvin's name was called. Harvin going 67 yards for a score, propelling the Gators to a 38-28 victory, their first SEC crown since 2000. Percy finished the game with 168 yards, 2 TDs, just 11 touches. More importantly, the win sent Florida to Glendale, Arizona in a season to remember. And the Gators trying to make this a November day to remember for these fans here. A sellout crowd, and the Gators now with a 42-20 advantage early in the third quarter. Keyston Moore, with his second touchdown carry of the game, now has 6 touchdown runs for the year, 9 career touchdown carries. The junior from Arlington, Texas. Edgecombe from the 10-yard line. Out to the 31, and the tackle made by Holiday. 21-yard return for Edgecombe and Rusty Smith. And this FAU offense taking over. They were sleepwalking through the first quarter, and then all of a sudden Tim Tebow throws an interception, and Smith finds his rhythm as a passer. His receivers get some confidence. The offensive line did a good job protecting him. They love to roll him out. And we still have a lot of football to be played here, with Smith running up some huge numbers in the first half.
It becomes extremely critical for the defensive ends to make sure they keep him in the pocket and don't allow him to buy that extra time.
Here's the pass complete. And short yardage to Pierre. Let's go to the field. There's a flag down. Well, let's check with Steve.
Well, obviously a little bit of a scare at the end of the first half of Michael Pouncey. He went into the locker room, they checked his right knee. He's okay. He could go if needed here in the second half. You know, with Marquise Pouncey with the ankle sprain, and he's been held out. And if Michael Pouncey gets hurt, guys, we're fresh out of Pouncey's. Nowhere to go.
That's a bad thing. That's bad, isn't it,
That's
Steve?
a very bad thing.
Pouncey's are good. This penalty is going to go against the Owls. 2 terrific players. Pouncey, incredible really that true freshman can come in and play at this level, and then you have twins, and they're both good enough to play on this level, reminiscent of the Brinkley brothers at South Carolina, that outstanding players on the defensive side of the ball. Pouncey's very similar here at Florida now.
But what's so exciting about Michael Pouncey is that he's able to switch sides of the football and make an immediate impact the way he did, David.
It was just a natural. It is a natural on the defensive side of the ball. Pierre, a good blocking to the 35 and driven down at the 39-yard line. But a good run after that 5-yard penalty. And Justin Tratto makes the tackle along with A.J. Jones, but that is a 13-yard carry by Charles Pierre, the junior from Orlando.
Good blocking by David Matlock, the freshman right guard, John Rizzo, the right tackle, and Nick Parrish, the center. You know, this is a pretty good offensive line when you think that they've only given up to date 10 sacks and are able to close to 400 yards in total offense.
Pierre hit behind the line, dropped behind the line of scrimmage at the 36-yard line by Tratto. That time the Gators did get some penetration against the offensive line, and Greg Madison, Charlie Strong looking for more of that here in the second half.
Justin Tratto using his speed and quickness as he's able to split the gap and get into the backfield and actually run Pierre down from behind.
He's got great speed. That freshman, another one of these true freshmen for the Gators, getting a chance to play a lot of football. Gators only returned a couple of starters from last year's national championship team on the defensive side, and has provided opportunity for young players to step up.
Timeout. Florida Atlantic. First
Florida
charge
Atlantic
timeout
takes a timeout early in the third. The Florida Gators 42, the Owls 20.
This holiday season, Sonny's is putting something special on your table. Now build a rib platter the way you want it with our sensational rib combos at a very special $9.99. Try Sonny's sweet and smoky St. Louis ribs and barbecue chicken. Or enjoy our ribs with lean and juicy pork. Not to be outdone, Sonny's ribs and hand-pulled brisket. Sonny's sensational rib combos, just $9.99. Together for the holidays.
Okay! Nap time's over! Don't just lay there like a bunch of leftovers!
Not you again!
You call yourself deep dish? You're a disgrace!
Right.
Let's go! Move it, move it, move it! Go, 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 go!
Go away!
Texas Pete hot sauce.
Jed Clampett, a poor mountaineer barely keeping his family fed, when in the summer of '63 he was shooting at some food, becoming a millionaire overnight. Soon afterward, he loaded up his truck and moved to Beverly Hills.
I was suspicious of this whole Texas tea theory.
A new investigation reveals that in the summer before Jed moved away from there, he switched his car insurance to Geico, saving a substantial sum of money.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
The Gators 42, the Owls 20, 11-13 to go in the third quarter. Greg Madison said the only thing holding Justin Tratto back from being a very, very good player is the number 25, as in 25 more pounds. What not to love about this guy? He plays hard, he's fast, he's got all the tools, he just needs some weight, and Greg Madison loves the way he plays. Let's go back upstairs.
Young man out of New Jersey. Gators recruiting nationally for the top prospects at all positions. Of course, still a dominant Florida roster, but you pluck a guy like Tratto out of New Jersey, and he's able to step in and play at a very high level as a freshman. That's a quality player.
And he's getting more playing time today than normal with Torrey Davis. Haven't seen him all afternoon as well.
FAU looking for the first down, and they've got it. That's the first catch today from their leading receiver, Jason Harmon. Well, they threw to him 4 or 5 times in the first half, but he did not have a reception. Now he does, and he gives the Owls a 1st and 10.
And David, looked like the Gators had this thing snuffed out. They read it all the way and just not able to make the play. Dustin Doe had a chance to make the tackle for a loss and just not able to wrap up. So, you know, the Gators are getting closer, but teams like to run that little inside screen back to the outside with the outside receiver coming in. And have had great success with that all year long.
On the draw, the give inside to Rose. His hat comes off. He's down at the 46 in Florida territory. Steve.
Number 51, Chalk Rickerson is in the game for Joe Hayden. Joe Hayden with a sprained ankle just at the end of the first half, and they've got him iced down on the right ankle. So you got Chalk Rickerson in there right now.
Oh, another injury to a key player on that Florida defense.
Well, and it's very difficult, especially when you go against a team that like to throw the football, and you have as many receivers as they have, and you've lost 2 cornerbacks already. Marquise Anderson is not playing. Joe Hayden now is down, and you know who's going to be that nickel and dime guy, because your nickel and dime guy actually has to play on regular downs, David.
And Smith was throwing at Hayden a lot when Hayden was before he turned that ankle.
Yeah,
so and they're really going at that position.
And he was playing exceptionally well. The play that he got beat on by Cortez Gent was a 15-18 yard stop that looked like a go, and he was playing the go route.
Third down again for the Owls at the Florida 46. Fakes the hand. No, he did give the ball. Good fake by Smith. And Pierre is close to the first down. He really sold that fake, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
Very nicely done. Spikes with the tackle. This is a good-looking quarterback. Good-looking offense, too. Out of the Sun Belt Conference, and they are still very much in the thick of things in the Sun Belt. They've got a game next week against their big rival down in South Florida, FIU, and then they close the season appropriately enough against Troy. And that last game, if they take care of business next week in the conference against FIU, the game against Troy is going to be for the Sun Belt Championship and a bowl bid.
Well, I know that coming into this ball game, you know, Howard really came in here with an idea that this is an opportunity to build more confidence in his football team. If they could play well against Florida, that's great. If they could win, that's even better. But, you know, they got what we call the Shula Bowl down there against FIU next week. And then, of course, end the season with a chance to come up with a victory that could put them as the champions. They're
going to go for it. They got really nothing to lose here on 4th down and an inch. Smith sneaks. Football came out. So they lost the ball and therefore did not make the first down. Smith had the first down, Nat, but when he fumbled, it was recovered behind the line of scrimmage. Watch the snap. Mishandled snap. He was in a hurry to get that ball and move forward.
Well, not only a mishandled snap, let's go back and look at it. I hope that we can see this again, because the ball never comes up, David. The ball actually rolls. He's trying to go forward with the snap, but the center in his haste. Now the ball's going to end up down here. Watch this. Ball never comes up. There's the ball. Never comes up to the quarterback. So, you know, in his haste to try and get the job done, Paris never got the ball up to the quarterback.
And an FAU team that has not turned the ball over very much this year. In fact, as far as fumbles lost, that's only their 4th fumble lost all season.
Well, they actually didn't lose it, but they didn't get enough for the first down.
Yeah, you're right. So that's not even a fumble lost, is it? This catch by Caldwell is going to perhaps get the Gators back to the line of scrimmage. Not a positive gain. Andre with his 11th catch of the game. We've already established his record, Nat, as the all-time leading receiver, and as Carlos Alvarez himself said, who apparently is aware of all those records out there in the Florida books, he knows that Bubba could also eclipse his single game record of 15 catches in a game, which was back in 1969 against Miami. Alvarez had a big game, and Caldwell now has 11 catches against FAU.
And I think he gets the record at the rate we're going, because right now he is the go-to guy for.
There he is. Couldn't hold on that time. Would have been a spectacular catch. Excellent coverage by Corey Small, and the ball was thrown a little bit high.
Tim has been a little high this afternoon, and this one is up. Caldwell goes up to try and make the catch, but because the ball is high, Corey Ball is able to come in from behind and knock it out. If this ball is down a little bit, this is an easy reception for Andre.
Hasn't been his sharpest day throwing the ball, Tim Tebow, but he's still 20 out of 27. Most quarterbacks would take those numbers, 282 yards and a pair of touchdowns. Tebow showing that strong arm. He really laid that one in there to Caldwell. His 12th catch of the game. Tebow threading the needle on that one.
And Curry Small actually just knew he had a pick. And this ball is thrown inside the only place he could be thrown and completed. Ball is inside. Bubba Caldwell works back to the football, uses his body to shield the corner off, and gets his 12th reception of the afternoon.
First down for the Gators, leading 42-20 in the third quarter. Option plays, got facing, but Tebow will keep and lunge forward for another Florida first down at the FAU 28.
I tell you this here, David. You know, I love when you have those quotes that they put up on the bulletin board. And Arceveda, let's watch him again. Now, here's the guy that said he is looking to knock Tim Tebow out. Now, watch this here. He doesn't even touch him as he drops his head, drops his shoulder, and Tim just goes right over him. Doesn't even touch him. I mean, when you make those kind of statements, you need to stand up and either hit somebody in the mouth or get hit in the mouth.
Well, it's easy to say on Tuesday, but when Saturday comes around, it's a different situation, isn't it?
Yeah, you know, you just can't go about, go around calling people out and don't step up to the plate.
That tackle was made by George Allen. Acevedo, a senior from Miami, came into the game with as the free safety with 59 tackles, so he's a good hitter back there. They got a lot of talented folks on this in this defensive secondary. Cam Newton back in the game. He ran one play at quarterback in the first half. He's not going to run this one, not just yet anyhow, because Aaron Hernandez jumped.
Dead ball foul. False start. Number 81.
That'll be a 5-yard penalty against
5-yard penalty.
Florida
Still
offense,
second down.
which has not been very fluid today. I guess they've sort of been off schedule with a number of penalties against FAU.
And David, that's part of what coaches talk about with the growing pains as Tim Tebow comes back in the ball game. You get a great talent like Hernandez, and every now and then he's going to do something wrong. But that's a freshman. He's going to grow out of it. He's going to be a great one in this Florida offense in the future.
Well, he owes Cam Newton a lunch because Newton's back on the bench, didn't even get to run that play. Tebow is back, quarterback draw. And down goes Tebow at the 32. Not much yardage there. They've had a spy on Tim today. And the running yards have been tough to come by. Linebacker Franz Joseph was there to stop the quarterback on that quarterback draw.
And this is a team that throughout the year have been giving up an average of 190 yards a ball game rushing, but the Gators have just not had the success running with the football, but have thrown it all over the place with great success this afternoon.
The Gators have thrown for 297 yards. And have run for 74. Tebow, a clean pocket to throw from. He delivers a completion. Again, it's Caldwell inside the 20 at the FAU 19-yard line.
I think if I'm one of the defenders for the FAU Owls, the first thing I look for is, where is Andre Caldwell? Where is that number 5? Because this is his 13th catch of the afternoon, and he's still running wide open through your zone defense. But he does a nice job of just sitting it down. You know, doesn't run through the open area. You know, that's what a senior gives you, a guy that understands the philosophy of the passing game, and instead of just continuing through, he shuts it down, quarterback gets him the football. Looked like they got a little nicked on that play as the trainers are looking at him on the sideline.
Well, that might be the only thing that slows him down from setting another record today. He's shaking his head. I think he's telling everybody, no, I'm fine. Leave me alone. I got to get back in there.
Yeah, Dr. Pete picked up his helmet. He said, give it to me. Don't you hold on to my helmet. You know, I'm having fun out here this afternoon.
Let's put it in perspective. 13 catches for Caldwell. Alvarez had 15 in a game in 69. Newton back in there. Newton carries up the middle. Big freshman from College Park, Georgia. Picking up good first down yardage for the Gators. Sincere made the stop for FAU. Well, the two-time defending national champion Florida Gators basketball team is back. Join Billy Donovan and his new generation of future Gator greats Tuesday. They'll face in-state rival North Florida Gators and the Ospreys. Tuesday at 8 only on Sun Sports. Tebow returns. 2nd and 5 at the FAU 14. Blitz, the Gators pick it up. Tebow threw it into a crowd. It's a jump ball, and it's Gator touchdown. Hernandez wrestled the football away from the defender.
Wrestle, took, you can use all of those adjectives. As Hernandez said, you know, a few minutes ago I made a mistake and I have to atone for it. And, you know, Tim Tebow throws this ball into a crowd, and this is a mistake. But you know what? When you got guys that go up and make plays like this, and he takes the ball away from Francie Joseph, you don't mind throwing it in the crowd every now and then.
Boy, Hernandez looking like a future star in this Florida offense. The extra point is good, and the Gators have rolled up 49 on the Owls out of the Sun Belt Conference. 5:16 to play in the quarter, and Aaron Hernandez with the touchdown catch, his 2nd of the season.
And David, you know, we talk about all of the talent that this football team have, and when you look at Cornelius Ingram, and then you look at Aaron Hernandez, we don't even talk about Tate Casey.
Yeah, they're all good.
Are you feeling lucky tonight? Then come to Lone Star Steakhouse, where you'll win big with our sirloin combo specials. Try our hand-cut grilled sirloin and jumbo fried shrimp, or grilled shrimp, or ribs, or make that salmon, or lobster. With so many perfectly paired options to choose from, every combo is sure to be a winner. And those big, bold mesquite grilled flavors start at just $14.99. But these winning combinations are only available for a limited time. So come in before your luck runs out.
Now, there's an internet site that was made for Gator fans. FightinGators.com, powered by Scout.com. Get exclusive recruiting updates, interviews, and insider reports on breaking Gator news. With daily bulletins, email alerts, and message boards. For the best Gator coverage on the net, go to FightinGators.com, powered by Scout.com.
If you missed tailgate overtime on Monday, you missed a lot.
Anything else? This guy is shouldering the load when everybody knows that he's going to be the guy that's getting the ball, and they still can't stop him.
Did you make it to the Orange Bowl for the finale?
Oh, I made it. It was a sad day. But you know what? I got some old seats, so I'm starting to sell those on eBay.
It's always amazed me that the Canes, the most dynastic program of the last 25 years, couldn't get more fan support at the Orange Bowl. I think that was sad.
Catch tailgate overtime Mondays at 7, only on Sun Sports.
The Magic play on Sun Sports. Dwight Howard leads the Magic against Kevin Garnett and the Celtics. Celtics Magic today at 5:30 on Sun Sports.
Freshman Aaron Hernandez with the touchdown reception. Tim Tebow delivering another pretty ball into the end zone, but that was more Hernandez than Tebow. He just fought Joseph for that football and winds up with his 2nd touchdown reception of his young Gator career. Good looking young tight end for the Florida Gators.
And David, just to show you how explosive this Gator offense is, this is the 6th time in 11 ball games that the Gators have went 49 points or over. That's amazing.
It really is. They scored 59 against the other Sun Belt opponent, Troy. Scored 49 on Western Kentucky, and remember they didn't play the last 7 minutes of that 4th period. Western Kentucky will be in the Sun Belt Conference next year as a full-fledged member. Actually, 2 years from now they'll compete for the title. And the Gators' high kick is fair caught by Kyle Watkins. So FAU takes over at the 26-yard line. Well, fans, the University of Florida will host the 2007 NCAA Volleyball Regionals on December the 7th and 8th. Tickets are on sale now. Don't miss your chance to see who will advance to the Final Four. Mary Wise's Lady Gators winning their 17th consecutive SEC championship. That is an incredible record. You talk about 17 conference titles in a row. That's pretty good. Smith getting pressure for the first time today, and he's sacked by Justin Tratto.
Well, Justin Tratto gets the sack, but Wandy Pierre-Louis is the guy that really disrupted this play. And what they did this time, David, they caught him on a play-action pass where his back's turned, so he doesn't see the blitz coming until the last minute. And then as he starts to pull it down, there's all kinds of Gators around him, and Tebow comes down with the sack.
McMillan also caving in from the opposite side, so great pressure all around by the Gators. 2nd and long from the 20. Smith guns it, and it is caught at the 40-yard line by Jamari Grant. Grant's first catch of the game, a sophomore from Jacksonville, and a 20-yard pickup, moving those first down chains for the Owls.
I am so impressed with the ability of Rusty Smith and how well he throws the football. He's able to get this ball up and over the linebackers and get it down where the cornerback, or should I say the safety, can't make a play on the footballs.
Really a strong arm young man out of Jacksonville. Has played very well today in the swamp. Rolling right, throwing on the run again. And it is a catch at the Florida 49. Excellent job again by Grant to pull that one in and get at least 1 foot down right there on the sideline in front of the FAU bench.
Yeah, if you look to the left side of your screen, you'll see Rusty get outside. And now watch Grant. He looks like a receiver rather than a tight end as he works the sideline. He actually gets both feet in. You know, just great technique by Jamari Grant on the sideline.
Smith has a lot of attractive targets to throw the ball to. We've seen some terrific plays made by 5 or 6 different receivers for FAU. The handoff is to Edgecombe, and about a 2-yard pickup to the 47-yard line. FAU is in Florida territory. They're trailing by 29 points, and it's still a lot of time left, but they've had the starts knocked out of them before and come back too. It looked like they were out of it very early and gathered great momentum, cut the lead to 8 on a couple of occasions in the first half.
Well, this is a Howard Schnellenberger coach football team, and you don't expect to see him quit.
Nope.
You know, he's done phenomenal jobs not only at the University of Miami, he was at Oklahoma, then went into Kentucky and helped them really get their program together.
Smith fumbled the ball, and there's Tebow again, that man, number 94. Who is spending a considerable amount of time in that FAU backfield now.
And what we're seeing is Justin's quickness. As once this ball is mishandled, Tebow is there because he beats his guy at the snap of the football. Second sack of the afternoon.
Tebow had an interception against Troy. 3rd down, 15. Smith throwing on the run. It is incomplete, broken up. Intended once again for Grant. And the pass was broken up nicely.
Well, Wandy Pierre really baits Rusty Smith into throwing this football and just loses his footing because he's right where he wants to be. He's in a trail technique, David. He's going to pounce on the ball, and he loses his footing and was very fortunate he got a finger on it.
Uh-oh. Yeah, maybe not so fortunate he got a finger on it. Something is wrong with his left hand or finger. Wandy Pierre-Louis. Gators have already lost the other starting cornerback for today, Joe Hayden, to an injury, and now it looked like Pierre-Louis was injured.
False start, number 29, offense.
False start on the FAU
Still
offense.
4th down.
And they'll punt the ball away again.
And David, when we talk about the fact that now Pierre is injured, there's Joe Hayden on the sideline. You know, who is that 5th and 6th cornerback?
We may find out.
You know, we're looking at our top 3 cornerbacks being down.
Dr. Indelicato checking out Wandy Pierre-Louis. 4th down and 20. The Gators blocked 1 punt back in the first quarter. They're coming hard again, and again there is a flag.
Well, what's happening is as the blocker on the flyer starts to come in,
offense,
and
5-yard penalty.
The Flyer's watching him, David. He can't stay still. I mean, he's trying everything to maintain his stance, and he just falls forward. I mean, it's almost kind of comical.
Yeah, he's feeling the heat over there, isn't he?
Well, he's trying to let the punter know that that they're trying to block it from outside, and in the process,
here they come again. Gets it away. Face on, calling for and making the fair catch at the 26-yard line. Well, the punt game has been a little bit of an adventure for freshman Mickey Grudy. And the Owls had one block. Grudy run in for a touchdown by Marcus Manson. Here's the score from Athens that everyone in the Gator Nation keeping a close eye on. That's in the third quarter now. Kentucky led 10-0 late in the second quarter there, but Georgia now has taken a 14-10 lead. And of course, if Georgia wins that game, they'll eliminate the Gators from possible participation in the SEC championship game. That's all it'll take to get the Gators out of that for sure. But if Kentucky defeats Georgia, then the Gators have to hope that either Vanderbilt or Kentucky can knock off Tennessee this week or next week. They're at face on again, carrying the football to the 34-yard line.
Little sweep with Jared Faison trying to get outside, came very close to getting a gap, and it's not for Serge Sinceri. He's off to the races. Tell you what, when you look at Serge, he's one good football player. You know, we talk about the great players that come out of that Belgrade area. He's definitely one of them. And I think I read somewhere where he slotted to go to the Hula Bowl.
Is that right?
Yeah.
He can run. Great speed. You think of Belgrade. You think of McDonald's, Ray and Junior and Senior.
Dead ball
obviously.
foul.
Fred Taylor.
Substitution
What about
infraction.
Lewis Oliver?
12 men in the formation.
Great
on the
defensive
offense.
back in the mid-'80s.
5-yard penalty. Still second down.
Tremendous tradition here at Florida, and we've seen a record set today that may stand for a long, long time. That's Andre Caldwell with 173 plus career receptions, a record held by Carlos Alvarez since 1969.
Cam Cameron.
He get a break, can he?
Every time he comes into the ball game, something bad goes on for Cam Newton.
Tebow given plenty of time. Face on to the 40-yard line. That'll be good for a Florida first down at the 40. A lot of Gators making plays today. You got 49 points late in the third quarter. Some good things are happening. And some good things have happened today for number 81, the freshman tight end from Bristol, Connecticut. Aaron Hernandez running over the Owls. And then with a great catch in the end zone, wrestling the football away from the linebacker, Franz Joseph, for his second career Gator touchdown in the third quarter. There he is, the freshman tight end. Tebow on the pitch. Lewis Murphy. Oh, if he turns the corner, he might be off to the races, but knocked out of bounds near midfield. 12 yards on the play. Let's get another look. Good sell by Tebow on the fake handoff to Moore. That really sucked FAU in, and then it's sort of a one-on-one, a two-on-one game on the pitch.
Yeah, what he did was a great job of forcing the defender to play him before he pitched the football. I mean, he runs that option perfectly, and from time to time he'll fake that pitch and hold on to it and get on upfield and get 20-30 yards himself.
He's run the option well this year, has made so much improvement as a quarterback from the start of the season to this point. There's another flag down, so this play may not count. It's going to be another catch for Caldwell if the penalty is not against the Gators. But there was a flag early on the play. A lot of yellow flags today. 9 against Florida, or rather 8 against Florida, 9 against FAU, and this one goes against the Gators.
6 men on the line of scrimmage on the offense.
I can't recall so many illegal motion calls in one game.
And a lot of times when you see these kind of penalties, David, it's just your head's not in the game. You know, you come in the ball game, it's an opponent that basically you're not giving them their just due respect, and in the process you're not ready to play. You make the in your mind you're ready to play, but mentally you're making mistakes that you're not sharp, that normally you would not make.
Well, you know, there's a lot of human nature involved too, Nat, when you've gone through Tennessee and Mississippi and Auburn and LSU and Kentucky and Georgia, Vanderbilt, South Carolina. You run the gamut there. Uh-oh, there's a fumble. That's available. That's a fumbled football, and it's recovered by the Gators.
Good job by Caldwell at getting back on the football, saving the turnover.
Let's go to Steve on the field.
Nerve-wracking with the defensive back situation for Florida. Joe Hayden already out with the right sprained ankle. For Wandy Pierre-Louis, sprained his left wrist, but I think he's okay to go in. They retaped the wrist, nothing too much damage, and he was able to catch the ball on the sideline, so I think Wandy Pierre-Louis will be able to go back in and play.
Well, that's good news. A sigh of relief. Here's a pretty important game next Saturday for Florida, regardless of what the other guy's record is or what kind of season they've had. And they've had their great moments this year up in Tallahassee, but it doesn't really matter. It's Florida State. And the Gators trying to take care of business today against another in-state university, the FAU Owls. And as we go to the fourth quarter from Gainesville, the Gators with a commanding lead, 49-20.
Right now at K&G, you'll find incredible savings on men's and ladies' leather jackets. K&G has leather jackets starting from just $69.99. That's $69.99. Stay warm this winter with hot prices at K&G. K&G, for men, for women, for less.
How safe is your truck? Chevy Silverado half-ton received a 5-star frontal crash test rating. And with OnStar, advisors are there for you 24/7.
I'm glad we could get emergency services out to you.
Ford and Toyota can't say that.
Well-qualified buyers get 0% APR financing for 60 months on the 07 Chevy Silverado half-ton crew cab. Chevy Silverado, this is our truck. See your Southern Chevy dealers or visit southernchevydealers.com.
Every hero has a choice. Yours is Rich 3 toppings. Introducing Papa John's Superhero XL3 Pizza. Your choice of any 3 toppings and 30% larger than our large. It's a super value at just $12.99, including a $3 off coupon for Spider-Man 3 on DVD. Call or order on the web.
Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's.
Never underestimate the power of a well-tailored suit. Men's Warehouse. You're going to like the way you look. I guarantee it.
Now, there's an internet site that was made for Gator fans. FightinGators.com, powered by Scout.com. Get exclusive recruiting updates, interviews, and insider reports on breaking Gator news. With daily bulletins, email alerts, and message boards. For the best Gator coverage on the net, go to FightinGators.com, powered by Scout.com.
How safe is your truck? Chevy Silverado half-ton received a 5-star frontal crash test rating. And with OnStar, advisors are there for you 24/7.
I'm glad we could get emergency services out to you.
Ford and Toyota can't say that.
Well-qualified buyers get 0% APR financing for 60 months on the 07 Chevy Silverado half-ton crew cab. Chevy Silverado, this is our truck. See your Southern Chevy dealers or visit southernchevydealers.com.
Of course Geico sponsors Mike's Race Car because they insure everything race car fans love. RVs, motorcycles, ATVs. Tell you one thing they can insure. Lauren Wallace. Because Lauren Wallace is made of lightning. Those guys are like, hey, where's Lauren? He was just here a minute ago. I'm 100 miles away, son. Ready to strike.
Geico, saving you money on insurance for your car and the other stuff that moves you.
Are you feeling lucky tonight? Then come to Lone Star Steakhouse where you'll win big with our sirloin combo specials. Try our hand-cut grilled sirloin and jumbo fried shrimp, or grilled shrimp, or ribs, or make that salmon, or lobster. With so many perfectly paired options to choose from, every combo is sure to be a winner. And those big, bold mesquite grilled flavors start at just $14.99. But these winning combinations are only available for a limited time. So come in before your luck runs out.
Well, the Florida Gators approaching this game trying to avoid a letdown, and that certainly was not the case early on. The Gators rolling up a 21-0 lead early in the first quarter, but FAU would come back. They made some terrific plays. Howard Schnellenberger's club not willing to just lie down here in the swamp, but the Gators with a terrific late second quarter and a third quarter shutting out the Owls in the third period, and a record-setting day for Bubba Caldwell, eclipsing the former mark of Carlos Alvarez for career receptions in Florida football history. And the Gators have a 49-20 lead as we go to the fourth quarter. David Steele, Nat Moore, Steve Babick on just a beautiful day. Couldn't be better, really, for college football. Temperature up in the 50s, maybe the 60s by now. And Tim Tebow having another Heisman-type performance as he fires the first pass of the fourth quarter, complete to Keyston Moore. Tebow is 24 of 31, 334 yards, 3 touchdowns in the air, and that one interception. He also has the touchdown run of 3 yards out, so he's accounted for 4 touchdowns again. That's what he averages per game.
Well, I tell you, he's amazing, but and he's doing all of this without Percy Harvin being here, without Brandon James being a part of today's game. So it just shows you how well the Gators are stacked with playmakers and Tim Tebow's ability to use them all.
Tebow scrambling around. He's got everybody in white chasing him, and he gets rid of the football. And then a flag late thrown against FAU. That'll be a personal foul.
Well, I think they're actually going to get him for intentional grounding.
Oh, okay.
There was no,
You're right.
There was no defender. I mean, receiver.
Right.
There was no receiver in the area.
Yeah, the way his shoulder pad came out of his jersey there, I thought somebody might have roughed him up, but I think you're right, Nat. A lot of scrambling going on by Tebow on that play.
Intentional grounding.
Yeah,
Number
intentional
15,
grounding on Tebow.
Offense was outside the tackle, but the pass did not land beyond the line of scrimmage. Penalty is loss of down at the spot of the foul.
It's a loss of downs,
down.
and will set the Gators back. Let's get another look.
Yeah, I think they hit him for both. He's got all day to throw the football, but look at the coverage of this FAU Owl defense. Tim scrambles back out to his right. There's nobody open. Nobody's able to uncover as he crossed the line of scrimmage and then went back and tried to get rid of the football. So he was actually guilty of 2 penalties on that play.
That one will not go on the Heisman video.
Which is kind of surprising. Usually by then Tim would have taken off and tried to get as much as he can running with the football.
Chaz Henry punting for the second time today. Fair catch, Polo, and he makes it at the 11-yard line. Looking up into that high north central sun here on a beautiful Saturday. The Gators 49, the Owls 20.
Good things happen when you open a SunTrust checking account. You get more than great checking. You get a chance to help the community. For a limited time, just open a SunTrust checking account, accept and make a purchase with your new check card, and we'll donate $100 in your name to the charity of your choice. Or you can get a $50 gift card to keep for your own cause. So, how will you help your community? Visit your local SunTrust branch today.
Ground pepper?
Steak and Shake reintroduces black peppercorn bacon. Available as a premium topping steak burger or on a grilled chicken sandwich.
Steak and Shake, now with black peppercorn bacon for a limited time.
Chocolate turtle bark. Right now, Steak and Shake is adding it to your favorite milkshakes. It's a beloved old holiday tradition we just now came up with.
Steak and Shake.
Fred Flintstone, an employee of Slate Rock Gravel Company. His wife, Wilma, a stay-at-home mom. Yet on this working man's salary, how did Wilma afford a necklace made of huge rocks?
Mr. Slate pays well, but he doesn't pay that well.
An investigation would reveal that Fred had the Flintmobile insured with Geico, saving the couple untold amounts of money. Their friendship with the Rubbles would soon become strained.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
We're in the fourth quarter from Gainesville's Ben Hill Griffin Stadium. The Florida Gators lead the Owls from FAU 49-20. Big weekend. Florida State, FSN Florida, bringing you that big basketball doubleheader on Friday night. That's women's basketball at 5:30 and men's at 8 o'clock. Florida State on FSN Florida, Central and North Florida regions only. And then on Sun Sports on Saturday, pregame show presented by Texas Pete, and the Geico Seminole Gator postgame wrap-up after the ball game, approximately 8:30 p.m. Florida State doesn't get much more exciting than that in the Sunshine State.
That's really what it's all about for a lot of these kids from similar high schools. They get a chance to play each other next week.
We have a new quarterback, Sean Clayton, a senior, a fifth-year senior out of Poland, Ohio, one of the rare non-Floridians on this FAU roster. He's a transfer from Michigan State, where he played a little bit of tight end in 2003.
You know, in most ball games of this nature, you look at field position and how much has it mattered. And this is only the second time all afternoon that FAU has started backed up.
Clayton showing some running ability, and then he shows an ability to let the football get away, and it's recovered by the Gators' Ryan Stamper. Well, Clayton played the role of Tim Tebow in practice all week long, trying to get the Owls ready to defend the Gators, but this is something we don't see Tim Tebow do very often. In fact, I can't recall ever.
Well, this is just a mistake where he's trying to pump fake, he's trying to make a play, but the play started out disastrous as he ran into his tailback, and now he's scrambling for his life. He carries the ball just like a quarterback, you know, and then as he pump fakes, ball just comes out, and Gators recover. But you know, it's just a series of things. Got receivers wide open, and you know, he's scrambling for his life, but the receiver don't understand that. You know, he's down there jumping and saying, I'm open, but he goes, yeah, but I'm running for my life.
So the Owls turn the ball over for the second time. Actually, that's officially the first turnover. The other one was a fourth down fumble. It did not result in a first down. So Florida with the ball. Tebow standing tall in the pocket, and a drop by Bubba Caldwell. There is a rare scene, especially today, where Caldwell has caught everything thrown his way. That would have been his 14th catch.
And I think he just took his eyes off it because he goes to catch it in his hands. And just as it gets there, let's see if he takes a peep. Can't really tell. No, looked like he's looking at it the whole way. You know, just one of those that just weren't able to come down with.
Tebow took a little bit off of it, try and ease it in there. Second down, that's Hernandez dancing around in motion. And the Gators run the option to the short side of the field, and Caldwell had very little room to try and turn the corner. He steps out of bounds at around the 19.
And what they really were trying to do was to run the low shovel pass to the tight end, Aaron Hernandez, once again. But that time, FAU was not full. Linebackers actually stayed at home. Now watch the linebackers. They're going to stay right in there. See, right there is Aaron Hernandez, who they want to get the ball to, but he couldn't pitch it to him. He couldn't shovel it to him because the linebackers were sitting there saying, here comes the shovel pass.
So that brings up a 3rd and 10. Tebow for the end zone, and he just did overthrow Caldwell. That's about the 3rd time today that Tim has been just a shade high. And that was an easy 6 for Bubba.
And I really don't think Bubba picked this ball up well coming in, because he'll look back into the sun right here, and he doesn't really see it, and he gets that left arm there up at the last minute, David. Here's another look at it. he'll pop his head around, and he sees the ball at the last minute. He just throws up his left arm to try and, deflect it to himself.
So you're saying that was high but catchable. You think he lost it in the sun a little bit?
It was high, but he wasn't able to pick it up coming through that sun.
Joey E. Haas from 36. Got it. And 3 more to the Gator tally as with 12:51 left, Florida moves past the 50-point mark, a half century plus 2. The Gators 52 and the Owls 20 with 12:51 to play in the 4th.
This holiday season, Sonny's is putting something special on your table. Now build a rib platter the way you want it with our sensational rib combos at a very special $9.99. Try Sonny's sweet and smoky St. Louis ribs and barbecue chicken. Or enjoy our ribs with lean and juicy pork. Not to be outdone, Sonny's ribs and hand-pulled brisket. Sonny's sensational rib combos, just $9.99. Together for the holidays.
This week on the best damn sports show, period. Wednesday, they may hurt, but they're hilarious to watch. These aren't your everyday sports bloopers. These are the top 50 best damn fan bloopers. Friday, all the impossible, improbable, most amazing trips to the end zone. We're counting down the top 50 greatest touchdowns. This week at 11.
On a special episode of Sports Science, the series critics are calling the coolest show on television. How much ground can this NFL receiver cover? Does this UFC champion deliver more force than a sumo wrestler? And how quickly does this quarterback react in the pocket? We reveal the hidden mysteries of science and sports like you've never seen before. The best of Sports Science, tonight on FSN.
Now, there's an internet site that was made for Gator fans. FightinGators.com, powered by Scout.com. Get exclusive recruiting updates, interviews, and insider reports on breaking Gator news. With daily bulletins, email alerts, and message boards. For the best Gator coverage on the net, go to FightinGators.com, powered by Scout.com.
The Florida Gators over the 50-point mark. Florida 52, Florida Atlantic 20, 12:51 to go in the 4th quarter. Well, Florida Atlantic's head coach Howard Schnellenberger is very familiar with Florida Field. He was here in 1982 when James Jones made the catch. Wayne Peace rolls to his right. Falling back, James Jones, the catch in the corner. They give him the touchdown, and the Gators upset Miami. Howard Schnellenberger was there for that one. Florida with the win over the Miami Hurricanes. That back in 1982.
You know what, Steve? I was there too. That was my first game in the broadcast booth for the Florida Gators as the radio play-by-play announcer. I will never, ever forget it. It was a great moment here, a big moment in my career to be a young guy broadcasting University of Florida football for the first time. And boy, what a way for me to get my start here at the University of Florida. And certainly not one of the great moments in Howard Schnellenberger's career, but I certainly did enjoy it.
And I'm pretty sure that James Jones enjoyed it as well. You know, James is now coaching at Palm Beach Ely.
Oh, what a great guy.
And it's old high school. He's the head coach down there. So, and I think they made the playoffs. So I don't know if they played tonight or they played last night. I'm not sure.
Cade Holliday has had himself a day on special teams, hasn't he?
Special teams have played well. They started out giving up some big yardage, big return yardage, but since then it's cracked down and made quite a few plays. They helped the Gators try and win this football game.
Now, Schellenberger has had some interesting moments as a head coach. He had one here. Was it 1980 that Miami kicked a late field goal? They were already up by about 4 touchdowns, and he and his team were getting pelted by fans, students behind the bench, and he kicked a late field goal to kind of rub it in. Now that was an interesting rivalry back there in the early 80s with Howard and Charlie Pell. Now those were talk about some competitive juices flowing.
David, for the fans down in South Florida, it's still a very competitive. Even though we don't play, we watch each other play every week, and then we sort of rag on each other about the play. So, you know, it's been a fierce rivalry through the years, and you know, we don't play them every year as we used to, but as we did in the past. But you know what? They both have had some significant programs. And Howard was part of actually turning around that University of Miami program when he left the Dolphins, and they went on to win their first national championship.
He turned around Miami. He turned around Louisville. He's put this program on the map. He came to South Florida in 1998 to lay the foundation, and they didn't play their first game till 2001. So he did a lot of work raising money and getting that thing organized in South Florida, which is no easy task. That's a big job for any man. And Howard paid his dues, to say the least, and for him to have the energy to do what he did at FAU is really remarkable.
He's one of the more respected coaches and persons in the South Florida market. You think of Don Shula when you think of sports, Pat Riley, but Howard Schnellenberger in his own right is in that same class, just not on the professional level, more on the college level. As you can see,
just coaching as hard as he did 1983 or in 1980 when that Miami team kicked that field goal.
Yeah, he's got that old deep gruff voice. Howard, what'd you say? Oh man!
I guarantee you that player knows what he was saying.
I tell you what, he said receivers are thoroughbreds, and we have to run fast at all times. And really used to be fun playing for him.
You remember he was an assistant coach for Bear Bryant and Alabama when they won 3 national championships.
Right.
So Howard Schnellenberger has actually been a part of 4 national college championships as an assistant or a head coach. But his team is down by 32 against the mighty Gators.
Is your birthday right around the corner? Do you want to celebrate it with Albert and Alberta? How about spending it with 10 of your closest friends? You can. Get tickets and special seating, pizza, soda, and cake. You'll also get this cool t-shirt, a disposable camera to capture the fun, plus pizza.
Wow! Cool!
For more information on Gator birthday party packages, call 800-34-GATOR, extension 6647.
Calling all Gators. Get your Gator Gold Card today. It's like getting 3 season tickets in one. You can attend all regular season home volleyball matches, all regular season home women's basketball games, and all regular season gymnastic meets. It's a $139 value, and it's only $60. That's solid gold, and it's only $60. So get your Gator Gold Card today by calling 1-800-34-GATOR. It's the Gator Gold Card. It's your ticket to women's Gator sport.
Are you feeling lucky tonight? Then come to Lone Star Steakhouse where you'll win big with our sirloin combo specials. Try our hand-cut grilled sirloin and jumbo fried shrimp, or grilled shrimp, or ribs, or make that salmon, or lobster. With so many perfectly paired options to choose from, every combo is sure to be a winner. And those big, bold mesquite grilled flavors start at just $14.99. But these winning combinations are only available for a limited time. So come in before your luck runs out.
Gator basketball snaps into focus on Sun Sports. Billy Donovan leads his new generation of future Gator greats in this in-state showdown. Ospreys, Gators, Tuesday on Sun Sports.
The Florida Gators 52, the Florida Atlantic Owls 20, 11-11 to go. The Gators being guided by quarterback Tim Tebow. A magical season for Florida sophomore Tim Tebow. He was outstanding at South Carolina. He accounts for 7 touchdowns, 5 by the run, and he was able to lead the Gators to a big win, 51-31 at South Carolina. He throws a touchdown pass in the left corner to Jared Faison, and the Gators rolled the other night in Columbia, South Carolina. It has been a tremendous season. A ton of numbers. The most rushing TDs by a quarterback. You see that 20 touchdowns responsible for in a season. 46, he broke Danny Warfel's record. You see the rushing touchdowns in the season. He broke Emmitt Smith's record. Guys, the one thing that stands out to me when you look at all those numbers is that he is going to be now a 2020 guy. And I looked hard. Brad Smith of Missouri didn't do it. Antoine Randall El didn't do it. Vince Young didn't do it. Tim Tebow has 20 touchdowns running, 20 touchdowns passing. I think he's the only quarterback in NCAA history, Division I, to do that. Guys, he's on a Heisman chase right now.
Well, you know, when you look at the numbers, and the Heisman is more than just a number check, because there are a lot of factors that go into it. How well has your team done? That's a big factor. It seems like at times it's almost a lifetime achievement award. So, you know, Tebow being a sophomore, that probably hurts him in the minds of a lot of voters. But if you just look at this season and this season only, I don't know how you can not give Tim Tebow the Heisman Trophy.
Yeah, there's not one player out there that has put up the numbers and been as important to their football team as Tim Tebow has been to the Gators this year. But, you know, it's like anything. You've got those guys that's been there that came back that are juniors and seniors, and the media start to look at them and how well their team fared and et cetera. And all of a sudden, because you were a no-name and sort of coming in, it's a little tough to climb up that ladder. Plus, I think they sometimes look at it, David, where, well, he's got 2 more years.
Yeah, and there is a history there where no sophomore has ever won the Heisman Trophy. There have been a few that have come close, including the Gators' very own Rex Grossman several years back, finishing second. Herschel Walker, I think, was another runner-up. Adrian Peterson, as a freshman, was a runner-up.
And I think there's only been, what, one guy that have won it twice, or Archie Griffin. You know, so, and he won it as a junior and a senior. So there's no precedence for a sophomore to walk away with that illustrious trophy.
But there's no precedent for Tim Tebow either. I mean, there's been nothing like him ever, as Steve Babbitt, I think, just so perfectly illustrated with that series of graphics. And to run for 20 touchdowns in a season and to throw for 20 or more in a season is just incredible. Now, we did a little poll around the state. Now, all of these folks that you're looking at here, they have a Heisman vote. So these are their actual ballots at this point where they would vote today. Brady Ackerman, they've all got Tebow. Mike Bianchi from the Sentinel, Mike DeRocco, Florida Times Union, Pat Dooley from Gainesville Sun, Larry Vittel, Sun Sports, Whit Watson, a very own Sun Sports commentator, all have a Heisman ballot. So you see where these guys are leaning, and that's not surprising. They're Florida guys.
Right.
But I think the momentum is going to continue to build for Tim.
I think with what happened the other night with Oregon and Dixon getting knocked out, I just think that it just opens up the opportunity for him to not be judged on what his classification is, but more so what he does on the field.
Well, there's still some football to be played, and Missouri's quarterback has a chance, perhaps Kansas's quarterback, but none have done anywhere near what Tim Tebow has accomplished at Florida in his sophomore season. They run their third quarterback in the game, Jeff Van Camp, a redshirt freshman, and he completes the pass with 9:23 left in this fourth period. A lot of time still on the clock. And Howard Schnellenberger goes to his number 3 quarterback. Number 2 had his problems out there. Sean Clayton fumbled a couple of times, and so Jeff Van Camp, a redshirt freshman from Gulf Breeze up in the Panhandle, is on to play quarterback for the Owls.
And at some point, you don't want to take a chance on getting Rusty Smith hurt. You know that the Gators are going to be coming after with a pass rush on every play, as they did there. And I think Carlos Dunlap gets his hand on the football.
Well, you know, Nat, this is a big game for FAU because they're playing the State University of the University of Florida in Gainesville. So this was a big one, but in actuality, the next 2 weeks are much more important games for FAU against their cross South Florida rival FIU next week, and then against Troy to wrap up the regular season. So those are the two that Howard Schnellenberger really wants to get within his conference.
That's kind of interesting. You look at Florida's next opponent is their state rivalry, Florida State. You've got FIU and FAU, and then you also got Bethune-Cookman and FAMU. So, you know, it's a time when all the rivalry games are starting to come about.
That time of year, late November, and the Gators en route to their 8th win of this football season, leading 52-20 in the fourth quarter. We're back in Gainesville, where the Gators are defeating the FAU Owls 52-20. Florida Atlantic has not scored in the second half of the game. There's the update from Athens, Georgia. The Bulldogs trying to eliminate the Gators from East Division competition. If they hold on against Kentucky, they'll do just that. It would be between Georgia and Tennessee for the East crown. But there's still a lot of football left in Athens, and Kentucky down by 8 points there. Riley Cooper, the intended receiver, with Cam Newton still operating at quarterback, and Tebow's day is done. He set a career best 338 yards passing today to Tim Tebow on 25 out of 34. Was not his sharpest day. He missed a couple of open receivers, but still the numbers are incredible.
Yep.
3 touchdowns, that 1 interception, and a touchdown carry.
Marcus Manson lining up in the backfield.
And he gets a big hole and a chance to run the football into the open field. Manson on his feet. And Gator fans say, yeah, that's the Marcus Manson that we enjoyed a couple of years back from that tailback position. A young man out of Tuscaloosa, Alabama, moved to the secondary. Then an injury set him back as a defensive back this year. And now they've moved him back to the offensive side of the ball.
Yeah, he's always been a tough guy to get on the ground. This time he tries to get outside, and the tackle is missed by strong safety Bartell. But you think he went over to the coach and said, Coach, I already got one. If you just get me in the game, I can pick up that second one here today.
They got a touchdown on a blocked punt and picked it up and rumbled 19 yards for a touchdown in the first quarter. Newton swings it out to Riley Cooper. Cooper runs over a defender and out of bounds at the 30-yard line. Again, another talented football player slowed by injuries this year, a broken finger.
Well, the second time they've thrown Cooper the bubble screen here in the second half. Riley Cooper is known for catching that deep ball down the field. Riley came into the ball game with, if I'm not mistaken, 3 touchdowns to his credit already.
On 6 catches.
Yeah.
And career-wise, 6 touchdowns on 10 catches coming into the game. Cameron Newton running the quarterback draw. And running hard to the 25-yard line. Big, strong quarterback, 6'5", 243. And capable of running this Dan Mullen spread option attack. Here's the block punt. Joey Sorrentino gobbling it up. Joey can't pick it up, but he kept the punter from getting on it and giving Marcus Manson an opportunity to scoop that football up and run in for the touchdown. The redshirt junior from Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Manson gets the handoff again, and this time he's driven down at the 24-yard line, a gain of 1.
And I don't really know that time, David, if Marcus Manson got the handoff or he just took it from Cam Newton, because Cam's trying to read it. He puts it in his belly, and he's trying to read the defense and pull it out, and Marcus Manson says, no, I don't get to tote this mail too often, so just leave it in, big fella. I'm gonna do the best I can with it.
Good to see Newton getting some playing time. He's played now in 5 games. He got some action against Western Kentucky and against Troy. Played a little bit at the end of the Tennessee game. Here he goes. Newton, touchdown.
Same identical play that they ran the play before when Marcus Manson held on to the football and Newton couldn't get it out. This time they fake it to him. He pulls it out. Cam Newton at 6'5", 243 pounds, shows some speed, good blocking at the point of attack, good blocks downfield, and no one touches him until he just gets across the goal line.
Newton has run 3 touchdown carries this year, and this one from 24 yards out. Cameron Newton, the backup to Tim Tebow, carrying it in for another score, and the Gators are pouring it on in Gainesville against FAU, 59-20, and 6:46 still to play in the game.
Back on this day in Gator football history, there's a couple of Gator quarterbacks that have produced touchdowns today. Tim Tebow and his backup, Cam Newton.
Now Tebow ran for 1. Newton ran for 1 now. And Tim Tebow threw for 3 more and 338 yards.
And I'll tell you what I like about that picture. Now, Tim Tebow is done for the day, David. But you see, he's still got the headset on. He's still in that learning stage. He's still a part of everything that's going on, so that, not only is he learning, but he can also help out the young guys.
Well, he loves to play football. And all this talk about the Heisman Trophy has really not fazed Tebow. He's just a guy that wants to play the game. He loves to play the game. He lives breathes and eats the game of football. Look at this hit on the special team. We were talking about the Florida quarterback. Florida special teams have been terrific today.
Just outstanding coverage, but it all starts, David, with everybody taking care of their assignment, where you've got guys that are nothing but wedge busters that goes down, destroys the wedge, and that allows those flyers to fly around and create and cause all that pain that they just caused on the last play.
That was John Jones, the freshman from Sarasota, causing the pain on the return.
Before the snap, delay of game.
Don't forget next week
12,
another penalty.
Offense.
Next week the big Florida State week, and basketball on Friday night on FSN Florida. Gators and the Seminoles men's and women's basketball doubleheader. That's in Central and North Florida only, and then Sun Sports providing all the coverage regarding the Florida State game. Pre-game presented by Texas Pete at 4 o'clock, and after the game, Geico post-game. Gators swarming, and Van Camp nowhere to run. Lawrence Marsh, number 90, in on the play, along with Brandon Hicks, another freshman really improving late in the year, number 40. Keep an eye on this young man as well. Here's 2 freshmen making a play.
And what we're seeing, David, is the Gators' second and third unit playing against FIU's second and third unit, and it just shows you the talent that the Gators have and what's in the plans for the future as these guys start to get some experience and will get their opportunities to play in the future.
Second down and long, and a draw play gets about 7 yards.
You guys mentioned about Jones and Hicks. Those guys' names kept appearing more and more in special teams tackles, and obviously Urban Meyer is big on that. You do well in special teams, you've got a chance to play with the big boys, either on the offense or defense. Jones and Hicks were doing that, and I think they've been curious to see, okay, let's get them out there on the defensive set. They're both linebackers, and they've done well, but if you make your mark at special teams, you've got a chance to play more here at Florida. That's been the trademark for the last 3 years.
That's where it starts for a young man like Jones. Tremendous athletic talent. Learning how to play linebacker in the SEC. Here's a flag coming in late. And a big hit by Rickerson, but Charlie Strong giving him a little pat on the helmet. Trying to play aggressive over there. There's a fine line, isn't there, Nat?
Yeah, it's a fine line between taking what we would call a cheap shot.
Yeah.
Jamari Grant didn't catch the football, and you had plenty of time to see that.
Defense.
And this is stuff you learn as young players. The more playing time you get, is that every time you do something like that, you hurt your football team. If this was a close ball game and he made that same mistake, all of a sudden you've kept a drive alive and given a team a chance to come up. Plenty of time. But anytime you could take 2 or 3 steps after the guy drops the football, there's no reason to hit him, especially when he's defenseless like that.
Spoken like a guy that caught a few passes. And maybe got cheap shotted a couple of times, huh?
Well, I mean, if he drops the ball and you're a step away, go ahead and hit him.
Right.
You know, I mean, hit him for dropping it. But if he has dropped the ball and you're 3 or 4 steps away, you're going to get flagged every time if you hit him.
2nd and 7 with 4:50 to play in the football game. You know what's interesting? Look at the scoreboard. It's 59-20. Gators beat Troy 59-31. The other contender in the Sun Belt Conference, along with FAU.
Don't forget Tennessee. They put 59 up on Tennessee as well.
Now that's not a Sun Belt team. Almost an interception. Although back then they looked kind of like one. They don't anymore.
No.
They have really pulled it together up in Knoxville.
Yeah, you've got to give Phil Fulmer a lot of credit for getting it turned around. And Justin Tretteau up at the top of your screen. He gets blocked. Now watch him come out, and just as the ball is batted by Dunlap, but Dustin Tretteau almost gets his 2nd interception of the year. I mean, big tackle, aware where the football is with great hands and great speed. Came very close to getting the interception.
If he got that one, he would lead the Sun Belt Conference in interceptions per game. The other one came against Troy. I don't think they would list him. What about Dunlap? He's 6'6", 240. Really a great athlete on that front line. Another freshman. Van Camp tripped up. That was Dunlap knocking him out of bounds at about the 37-yard line. A lot of young players. Duke Lemons, number 44, getting a chance to get some fourth quarter playing time here. Out of Westlake Village, California. And it's going to be a fourth down play. FAU will be punting for the 7th time today. Mickey Grudy standing back. He had one blocked in the first quarter. I don't think the Gators will be coming after this one. Well, they put on a pretty good rush, but Grudy gets it away. And Faison makes the fair catch at the 15-yard line. Let's go to Steve Babick on the field.
Well, we began the broadcast with talking about Percy Harvin from the sideline, that he, for a second game in a row, no Percy Harvin, out with migraine headaches. At first it was thought to be a sinus infection, now diagnosed as migraine headaches. In fact, last weekend after the South Carolina game, tried to work out. Worked out fine, goes home, the headaches come back, and he's just shelved this past week, no practice. The thing with Percy Harvin, they're going to reevaluate him early in the week. You know they want to have him ready for Florida State, but they don't know. At least they've had 2 games now without Percy, so that's not such a shocking move if you don't have their big play guy. But you know you want to have Percy Harvin in that big game.
And we're still all anticipating the post-game comments of Urban Meyer to find out why Brandon James did not play today. No information on that.
Well, not only Brandon James, but also Torrey Davis didn't play at all, David. So, you know, those are the guys that when you go up against Florida State, you want to make sure that you've got.
Start. Number 64, offense. 5-yard penalty, still first down.
You'd like to make sure that you've got all of your weapons.
Sure.
You know, this is a game that when it's all said and done, this is the game that you mark on your calendar to start the year.
That's Lawrence Marsh getting the medical attention. Been a difficult day for injuries. Remember, the Troy game was where Bubba Caldwell was injured in that early season game. Here's Newton running the option. A nice pitch to Marcus Manson, but well covered by the Owls. And little or no gain on the play.
Also getting a great opportunity to look at some of the Gators' second-team offensive linemen. We've got Corey Johnson lining up at the center position. Corey Hobb, James Wilson, Marcus Gilbert played earlier, and
64 is Max Carrick, freshman from Palm City. Second down for the Gators. 3:35 to play in the football game. And Newton on the keep, turns it outside, lowers his shoulder. Big, strong running quarterback is Cam Newton, much like that other guy that plays quarterback for the Gators.
I'll tell you what, he does a nice job of play faking and putting that ball in. And, you know, Marcus Manson running tough as if he's got the football, that it's very hard to see who really has a football. So as a defender, you know, you don't know who to tackle or who to attack. And Newton has some speed for a big guy there. Big fella can move.
Florida looking to pick up a first down and keep this drive going, keep the clock running. And it'll be Newton carrying the football, but he has stood up at the 25, trying to fight forward, but will be short of the first down. And Florida will punt the ball with about 2.5 left in the game. Tim Tebow, well, he finished his work early today as he played a terrific game once again. Heisman type performance by Tebow. 25 out of 34, 338 yards, 3 touchdowns, the 1 interception, a touchdown run. The 338 is his career best in passing yards in a game. And he runs the offense. Talking with Dan Mullen earlier in the week, that's where he has really made some improvement. The management of the offense, the way he manages the game, his drop back passing is better. Can still get better even still, but his ability to stay in the pocket a little bit longer and wait for things to open up. Chaz Henry gets the punt away. It's end over end. And Out of bounds at the 35-yard line. And don't forget to join Urban Meyer in helping build the Gateway of Champions. Help provide a true entryway into Florida football's past, present, and future gridiron greatness. Call Gator Boosters at 834-GATOR. That's extension 5000. Nat, you've seen all these games this year. The improvement that you've seen in the Florida offense and Tim Tebow in particular from week 1 till week number 10 now.
I just
11.
think the majority of it is his game management skills. His decision making is what's really important. I mean, when you look at this football team and as explosive as they are and the way they throw the football, the fact that they haven't turned the ball over as much as you would think is amazing. I mean, here's a football team that, today I think Tim threw his 5th or 6th interception of the year. They've put it on the ground a few times, but overall they've managed the game well. They've gotten out of tough situations, and even more so, I think his ability to put his team on his back when he needs to help them get a victory. I mean, many times this year we saw when the pressure was on, Tim Tebow found the way to get it done, both he and Percy Harvin, to make it happen.
Makes winning plays. That's the bottom line. Dunlap on the carry. Well, Florida's defense has really stiffened up here in the second half after giving up 20 points and 300 yards in the first half. This Florida defensive line just closing the door. Had 3 sacks today, only 82 yards rushing. Now, Rusty Smith threw the ball all over the place in the first half, but even those numbers way down in the second. So hats off to Florida's defense, especially in the second half of the game.
And they've had to do it with some of the second unit guys.
There's a sack. Chris Pintado, redshirt freshman, with the quarterback sack. Play of the game brought to you by Steak and Shake, famous for steak burgers. And a big game changer in the first half, the first quarter, as a matter of fact. Joey Sorrentino blocking the punt. And Marcus Hansen takes it 19 yards for the touchdown. Gators scoring 21 unanswered points in the first period. That's our Steak and Shake play of the game. Seemed like a long time ago, but remember the Owls cut the lead to 21-13 and 28-20, so it was an 8-point game with 1:13 left in the first half.
But it really got the Gators off to a good start early on, and then from a special team situation, it ignited special teams throughout the afternoon.
I think Urban Meyer will be happy with his second half defensive performance in particular.
Thank you for attending today's game.
Brought to you in part by Checkers, the official burger of the Florida Gators. By your Southern Chevy dealers. Visit Chevy.com to find out why Chevy Silverado is the 2007 Motor Trend Truck of the Year. And by Shams, UF and Shams, the science of hope. Urban Meyer, his Florida Gators a winner here in the swamp against Howard Schnellenberger and the FAU Owls. 59-20 is the final. The Gators running their record to 8-3. Nat, impressive, particularly in the second half defensively.
It's what you expected coming into this ball game, that the Gators would romp and that the Owls would come in and play tough, but at some point, because they don't have as many athletes, they would succumb and get a little winded and tired.
All right, the Gators now looking forward to the big FSU weekend next week. This has been a special presentation of Sun Sports. Don't forget to start that weekend on Sun Sports with Rec Warehouse College Kickoff. We'll preview the big game, Florida State, next week. That's Rec Warehouse College Kickoff. That's Friday night, 7 o'clock, fans in South Florida, airing at Friday, 9:30 for fans in North Central Florida. For Nat Moore, Jerry Wetzel, our producer, Jimmy Lee Starling, our director, and for Steve Babick, I'm David Steele. For our entire crew, thanks for tuning in. From Gainesville, Florida, a winner, 59-20.